Okay, so let me see if I can broadcast live here. Okay. So let me just check to make sure that everyone can hear me first, guys, before I start the broadcast here. Okay, so it looks like I'm going live here. All right, guys. If you guys can hear me, let me know if the sound is good, right? Okay, so I got confirmation that everyone can hear me on YouTube. Let me just make sure that if you can do me a favor, Mike, can you just start counting so that I can make sure so that
testing 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Okay, so can you guys hear?
Count to 10?
Okay, can you guys on YouTube hear the folks that I have on Rise right here? So, hey, where are you at, Mike?
At the marina, working on a boat to get it ready. Okay.
Okay, so I got confirmation that everyone can hear me on the Rise app and on the YouTube, on Rise and on YouTube. Okay, so just want to welcome everyone real quick, guys. This is Ty Zen. I'm broadcasting live right now on the Rise app, and I'm also broadcasting live on YouTube. So if you guys see me looking around, this is the first time I've done it, and so I'm trying to make sure that everything is correct. Hey, what's up, Denny? I'll bring you on stage in a minute, Denny. Give me a second, okay? So I just want to explain to you, everyone, what I'm doing here. So on the, oh, you know what? Just let me share screens with everyone. That way you guys can see what I'm seeing here, okay? So I'm over here running my mouth, and I forgot to share the screen with everyone. Okay, so when you guys can see my screen, please let me know. You should see an Ethereum chart on the left side, and then you should be able to see the Rise app on the right side. Okay. Oh, hold on here. Okay. So just give me 1 second here. And let me just turn that off, okay? So just, okay. So, okay, so I know if you're on the Rise app, you can only see me, but on YouTube, you can see me on the Rise app, and you can see my Ethereum charts that I'm looking at, okay? So, hold on real quick, guys. Just give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pause the sharing real quick. Just... Okay. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So, sorry about that delay there, guys. Let me see if I can get the Rise app to come back on. Okay, so if you guys can hear me on YouTube, right, go ahead and feel free to put in the ethers or the cryptos that you want me to take a look at, and I'll just go down the list and whoever comes in first, that's what I'll analyze first. Okay. So, what's up, John? Out in California? Okay, so let me put Denny. So I'm grabbing these folks and I'm dragging them up on stage. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Denny?
Good to see you.
All right. So just give me 1 second here, guys, and I'm going to start the analysis here, okay? So first thing I want to do is I'm just going to start from the top down, guys. And all I'm doing here, guys, is I am just testing out the Rise app simultaneously with the YouTube. Right now, the advantage that I have on Rise is that I can have people on there. Wow, CoinMarketCap updated their website today, huh? Finally, after nearly half a decade, these guys finally got their website updated and they changed the logo right here to CoinMarketCap, right? Okay, so anyways, the logo ain't gonna make us money. So let's talk about stuff that can make us money here, guys. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm gonna look at the market cap here. I'm gonna click on that. Are you guys able to hear me on the Rise app? I'm not sure what happened here. The videos froze. Okay. So, okay. So what I did was, let me just redo that again, just so everybody understands what I just did there. Okay, so I'm looking at the total market cap, right? So this is like looking at the, okay. So remember, guys, when you guys are listening to me on the Rise app here, I'm broadcasting live, and this is being recorded on YouTube. So be careful. I'm not going to censor what you guys say, but if you don't want it recorded, watch your verbiage accordingly. Okay, so I'm not sure why whatchamacallit, your Mike's video and Denny's video is not working. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's the app or if it's me broadcasting too many things at one time. But okay, so Referral Freedom says he can hear me. So I'm gonna go back here to the analysis here, guys. What I did was I pulled up the total market cap here of the system here. And what I'm doing is I'm just gonna highlight this section here from where it was flat to where it is right now. And that's it. So, okay. So I'm getting tons of rewards there from Referral Freedom, right? Lots of love there. Thanks, man. So what see, all this is flat, so there's nothing to look at right there, guys. So what I'm doing is I want to do this, okay? Now, I won 10,000 coins. BlackBerry joined Rise. I don't know what that means there. I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, guys, okay? So like I said in the video title, this is a testing here. So I've been trying to figure out how to broadcast on the on the Rise app at the same time that I can broadcast on YouTube so that I can interact with my viewers. One of the challenges I've always had broadcasting on YouTube is that I can never interact and talk face-to-face with my viewers, okay? So one thing I like about the Rise app, okay, is that I can add my viewers. I'll show you guys what the Rise app can do as I'm doing it. So I'm trying to figure out how to move things around here. So you guys, like I said, guys, this is a test. So you guys will have to bear with me here as I'm trying to figure out this and do the market analysis all at the same time. Okay, so the first thing I do every day when I look at the markets, guys, is I take a quick look at what the current market is doing. So there it is right there, magnified a little bit. all I'm doing is I'm hitting Control plus and Control minus on here, and I'm gonna take a screenshot. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come over here and look for the snipping tool right there, and just pin this to the bottom here. And I'm going to take a new snippet of this right there. And once I get that up, what I like to do is bring that down like that. Okay? And what I'll do next is I like to add in a tools. And if you guys can look at this, right? I'm going to draw a green tool right there. And if, crap, it's not a straight line here. Okay, not sure what's going on right there. Okay, so there it is. So let me see if I can bring Cleave on. Okay, hey, I see you on there, Crypto Space Media. If you want to jump on the Rise app, you know, I need to ask you some questions and stuff like that. Okay. All right, guys. So if we look at the cryptocurrency market right here, and we look at the lines that right here. I'm not sure what this means right here. Okay, so I just moved that out the way. So I'm going to stop the broadcast here. I'm going to drag whatchamacallit back out. Okay, so I'll focus on the Rise app in a minute when I see people coming in. And if you guys want to hop on stage on the Rise app, just let me know. But let me just do this market analysis. If you guys notice that the market was up here at 826 here, and it came all the way down, if you can just draw an imaginary trend line from here all the way up, right? It's kind of like at the bottom of the trend line, and it's on its way back up. Now, if we zoom in right here, and we draw a trend line from here, and just imagine a trend line coming all the way through here, and obviously this has broken the downtrend line, and if we zoom in by highlighting this area here, right? Notice how when we highlight this, we can see that it's now back on an uptrend, and it hit this level, and it's coming back down to here and retesting that support area and trying to come back up, okay? So what we're doing there, okay, is that it's coming up, and it's going to retest this level back here that we're going to. See how it's coming back up here? It's trying to come back up, and it's retesting. It's going to retest this level up here, hit that resistance up here around the 450, 460, 470 area all along there. And if it can break through that, then we have a good chance of getting through this area here and then up into here, okay? So I like to see it break through there. The reason why, to me, this is a critical drop-off point is this is where the price tanked right here. So let me just zoom in to that area right there so you guys can see it. So if you guys see how the market was just going sideways around the 450 billion area there, and then what happened was it was just going sideways, 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 and finally it tanked. So this is a huge resistance level right here that I'd like to see it crack that and go back up. Okay, so that's something that we want to take a look at. Okay, so give me 1 second here, guys. We have some folks here trying to get on. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Somebody's trying to get on here, and they're asking me how to get on. Okay. Let me see here. So, okay. Yeah, hey, Julian from Nigeria. If you want to jump on the Rise app, you know, you can jump on that. Okay, so now I finally figured out what this 10,000 coins is. Okay. Yes, Dom Cardio asked if anyone can see this, and the answer is yes. It's being broadcasted on YouTube as well. Okay, so let me see here. So one thing I like about the Rise app is that if you guys notice, Dom just raised his hand. So let me bring him on stage and see what questions that he has. Okay. So while that's loading up, so back to what I was saying here, guys. This is the area right here that I like to see for it to break above. And then we have a chance of going up to the 500, above the 500 billion market cap area. Okay. Now, since this is what I look at, if my portfolio has a lot of Bitcoins in it, guys, right? Since Bitcoins make up less than 2 or 3% of my entire portfolio, okay, I do not see the need to look at this one. What I normally do is I'm going to take Dom back off stage here since he's not answering, right? So what I prefer to look at is this right here at the altcoin market cap, excluding Bitcoin. And I'm going to highlight this area and zoom in on that. Now, I'm looking at this because the majority of my portfolio is in altcoins, and only a very small percentage, like less than like 2-3%, that's in Bitcoins. So I really don't pay attention to this one too much unless somebody asks. I pay more attention to this, and as you can clearly see that it's broken the downtrend. And if we draw a trend line from here all the way over to here, then what's going to happen is that we can see that it's going back up, and it's hesitating here because it's hitting this resistance level right here. Okay, and if we zoom in on this right here, guys, just notice how it went. The altcoin market went sideways all that time, and then it finally tanked right there. Okay, so when it finally tanked like that, this is the critical level. Like a lot of people will look at this right here at the 278 million market cap. And what you guys got to realize is that that's just a very small area right there. This whole area, this whole range between like somewhere right here and all the way to here, that whole area right there is an area of resistance. Okay, so right there. Now, if you zoom in, it looks like it's coming up and down, but you want to step out from the big picture, right? What's up, Cleve? Right? So Cleve is one of our Bootcamp attendees. He's one of our clients here. So by being on the Rise app here, I can interact with him, okay? So you see how on the Rise app, guys, BlackBerry just raised his hand right there. So let me see if I grab that icon and drag him up here on stage with me. Let's see if he's got any questions or if it's just messing around on the Rise app, okay? So Todd says that it must be crazy that I only have 2 to 3%. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that move a lot more than Bitcoin. So keep in mind, guys, we're in here to make money, to make life-changing money in cryptocurrency, right? We're not here to play the game of who's popular, okay? We're playing the game of which cryptocurrency is going to put more money into our portfolio so that we can feed our kids, okay? That's why. So the percentage does not really matter. Okay. So whatchamacallit, Bitcoin B in the YouTube live stream is saying that it's a Texas made, right? Absolutely. In Texas, guys, we believe that the more the merrier, the bigger the better, the more the merrier. So the bigger your portfolio is, the better it is, and the more money that's in your portfolio, the better it is, and the more merrier you'll be, and the more happy you'll be, okay? In case you guys are outside the US and don't know what merrier means, it means to be more happy, okay? So again, right, if you guys notice right here on my Rise app, I have, whatchamacallit here, it's being blocked here. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. Okay, so let me see. If I bring up here, Mind Alchemist, see if he'll come on stage and we can discuss some of this analysis here, right? So, okay, so that's how I'm looking at it, guys. I'm looking for it to break above this level right here, which is around the 270, 280 area right there. And once it breaks above that, that area of resistance there, I'll be really happy about that. So, okay. So right there. So what, yeah, Todd says it could also be life-changing, losing life-changing money. Absolutely. If you do not know what you're doing in the cryptocurrency markets, right, and you don't know how to trade or don't know how to invest and don't know how to manage risk, right, you can absolutely lose a life-changing amount of money also. You're absolutely correct, right? So Crypto Space is asking, can he get a link to the Rise app so that he can come on stage with me? What's up, Mind Alchemist? Right? Yeah, just go to the Rise app and install it on your phone, and then you can. Once you're in there, you'll see my broadcast in the Rise app, and then you can jump on from there. Okay. So let me see here. Okay, so okay, so Todd also says big balls is a must for a cryptocurrency gamble this year. Yeah, it takes big balls means you have to have courage, and you're absolutely correct on that. It does take courage to be able to invest in the cryptocurrency market, but you know what? Even more important than having big balls to be in the cryptocurrency market is to actually have proper risk management skills. Okay, so that's what I would say is knowing how to manage risk so that in case you're wrong, you don't lose your ass off, and then when you're right, you know how to capture that big winner. That's what trading and investing is all about, guys. Is knowing how to be wrong and take small losses, and then when you're right, know how to take big to capture those big gains when you are right. Okay. So let me see here. Let me know in the chat whether you're on the Rise app or whether you're in the YouTube live stream, what coins you guys want me to look at, and I'll pull it up from there. So while I'm waiting for the answers to come in, I'm going to come over here to my watch list, and I'm going to pull up Bitcoin since Mind Alchemist says that he's got 15% in Bitcoin. Let's pull up Bitcoin and take a look at that for him. Okay. So now if we go down the watch list that I have here, guys, we have Bitcoin on the Bitstamp market, right? And we have, let me see, and then we have Coinbase, and then we have Mt. Gox. Obviously, Mt. Gox has been bankrupt, been hacked, and they're out of business. So let's take a look at the Coinbase one. Okay, so usually whenever we do technical analysis, guys, we want to do it on the, hey, what's up, Dom Cardio? Good to see you on the Rise app there. Okay. Good to see you guys on the Rise app. Okay. So before we look at the analysis of, so let me see here. Okay. So what's going on here? Okay. So I just restarted. Okay. Okay, can you guys hear me on the Rise app now? I just noticed that some of you guys were saying that you didn't hear me. Okay. No sound. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. All right, so since Mind Alchemist on the Rise app brought up about Bitcoins, I'm going to look at Bitcoins here. And first thing I like to do is when I look at the charts, guys, I like to first look at what the long-term, starting with the weekly, and I look at it like this. I come over here, and I like to draw me a trend channel first, and right away, I like to do that right there. Okay, so we are obviously in an uptrend. Let me change that to a solid line there and make that a green solid line. Okay. Right? Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm drawing a trend channel here, guys. Now, here's the thing that you guys realize while you're drawing a trend channel, guys. When you draw a trend line, let's look at the bottom trend here. This is traditionally how the old textbooks tell you to draw a trend line, right? They'll tell you, hey, connect the lowest lows and the lowest highs right there, like that. It'll be something like that. That's what the traditional chartists, the traditional technical analysts will tell you, like the lowest lows, like that, and something like right there. Okay, so you see how I'm touching these lows right here? These are called the bottom, like that. Those are called tails, those lines that come down from the bottom, and these are called bodies on the candles. The green and the reds are called bodies, and the black lines on the bottom are called tails, and the black lines on the top of the bodies are called wicks. Okay, so traditionally, the way that technical analysis was done was it was done at the bottom like this, right? And as long as there's 2 points, we can see it. So the guys on the Rise app, you guys, in order to see the charts, you're gonna have to be able to go to my YouTube channel and be able to see it. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see the charts on the Rise app, because the Rise app you can only see me talking. Okay, so this is the reason why I'm doing it on the YouTube on my computer also, so that I can interact with my audience, my viewers in the Rise app, and then I can still do my technical analysis and crypto analysis on the thing. Okay. So what's up, Deal Trice? Okay, Deal Trice says that he's the Mind Alchemist on the Rise app here. The only thing that has me troubled is that on the Rise app, it looks like he's a black feller. And then on the YouTube image, it looks like he's it's hard to see because it's so small, but it looks like a white dude. So I'm not sure if Mind Alchemist or Deal Trice is a black guy or a white guy here. So, or maybe it's the image is so small that I can't tell if it's correct or not, but you know. So anyways, back to the Bitcoin technical analysis here, guys. So this is the traditional way that it was done. Just so you guys know, this was the traditional way it was done. And the reason why it was done like that was because back then, I'm going to pause here real quick, guys, and give you guys a little quick history about technical analysis, okay? Back in the old days, the technical analysis was done on what's called fractions. Most people don't know that. Let me show you guys what it looks like, okay? So let me get up a notepad here. In the old days, guys, the old school trading that was done, it was done on what's referred to as fractional systems, okay? So let me do this. Here. So in the old days, right, instead of having 25 cents, it would be like this, okay? Instead of the 25 cents like we have today, in the old days, it was written like this, or it was written like this. And then on your computer screen, it would show up as like this, okay? And then if you had 50 cents or half a dollar, it would be written like this. And on your screen, computer screen, it would look up like this, right? Like that. And then if you wanted 1/8 of a dollar, which is 12.5 cents, it would be something like this. And so it would be 0.125 like that, okay? And so on. And as the increments get smaller, right, as what you guys can see there, it was not, the prices of all the stocks were not quoted in decimals. They were quoted in fractions. And the problem with that is that you can't, it's really hard to go in between 1/8 and 1/4. There was no 3/16, okay, until later on somebody figured out how to write software to make it that small. And the reason why it's important to understand this, guys, is when you guys do this, back then, all these wicks and tails, they were at very precise points. So it was either at half a dollar, 1/4 of a dollar, or 1/8 of a dollar. So it'd be in 12.5 cent increments, in 25 cent increments, or in 50 cent increments. So it was very easy to draw the trend lines at the bottom of the tails, okay? And it would work back when the charts were done in fractions instead of decimals. And this is extremely important because a lot of people doing technical analysis today are not even aware that back in the old days, the price charts were written in fractions, okay? So because of that, now that we no longer use, we don't use these fractions anymore, and we use decimals now, what happens is back then, if people came down to here, right? Let's just say the price came down to $6,500 down here. Let's say it came down to $6,000, right? Back then, it would just, people would buy or sell at that exact point at $6,000. There was no, or they would do it at $6,000.25 or $6,000.12.5. There was nothing smaller than that, okay? Nowadays, because we have decimal places, people can go in between the price that the sellers want and the price that the buyers want down here, and there's a bunch of decimal places, and so people would put those decimal places, their orders in at half a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies, and so on. Now we get to the point where we come out to doing stuff like this, right? Where in Bitcoins now, we have it to where it can go out to 4 and then 1, 2, 3, right there, okay? So we have, that's 1 Satoshi. This right here would be considered, right, like 8 Satoshis. This right here would be considered 80 Satoshis, right here like that. And then this would be considered 1,888 Satoshis. So because the decimal prices are so small now that the price varies and people no longer use the whole even round numbers. They'll, to get it in front of somebody else, if I'm selling it for 1,888 Satoshis, right? No, your picture's not up, Dom Cardio. Let's say that, and you want to cut in line in front of me and sell yours in front of me, you can put in 1,887 Satoshis and you can cut in line in front of me. Whereas in the old days, it was very hard to do that because everything was written in 50-cent increments or 25-cent increments. So because of this, the price no longer represents the bottom of the tails, no longer represent that's the bottom of the trend anymore. So for me personally, I have to adapt to the changing market conditions, the way that they change from fractions to decimals, and then I have to adapt to when they change from using paper to draw out the charts to computers to draw out the charts and everything. So because of that, I no longer draw the trend lines like the traditional way. I draw the trend lines like this. And that's how I draw my trend lines, is that I draw it in where it hits the most points, where in general, overall, that's where the bulk of the prices are touching at, okay? So there's, in each candle, you have the open price, the closing price, the high price, and the low price. And those 4 data points is where I draw my trend lines to hit as many of those 4 data points as possible. So there it is right there. So if you're watching this and you make a comment and say, hey, that's a bullshit trend line or whatever, you know, it really doesn't matter to me, because I'm drawing it based on the experience that I had trading in the stocks, futures, and Forex markets using decimals after it was converted to decimals and no longer using fractions, okay? So that's where I'm at. And so, and then I do a parallel line and I put it on the other side of where the high is at. Now I can put it at the top of the wicks up there, but at this moment, I'm going to choose to put it right here. So for Bitcoin, right there, that's the trend channel that Bitcoin's in. So it's closer to the bottom of the channel than it is at the top of the channel. So based on that analysis, I'm going to be looking to be a buyer of Bitcoins. So if I was new to Bitcoins right now, I would be looking to buy, okay, anywhere close down to here. Now, is it possible that I buy right here and then the price, I buy around 9,000 and it falls below 8,000 and it falls down to 6,000? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can go down as soon as you buy in. You might be one of those lucky buyers where as soon as you buy in, that the price tanks $1,000 or $2,000. Absolutely, it can happen. It's happened to me hundreds of times in my life in trading before, so I'm not surprised about that. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is how I'm drawing it. Okay, now if you notice here, right, and this is the interesting part about technical analysis, guys, is we have Baggio on YouTube, and he's commenting that I'm doing technical analysis for noobs right here, which means that it's for new people. And my response to that is absolutely it's for new people, okay? Because if you know how to do technical analysis already, you're not going to be sitting here watching me on YouTube, okay? I promise you that. If you are watching me on YouTube doing technical analysis, more than likely you don't know how to use technical analysis, okay? Because I don't go out there and watch other people do technical analysis out in the markets, okay? And to give you an idea of the technical analysis that we do on our team with me and David and leonfu.com, usually if I do technical analysis and I identify a good buy point, I have authorization from my other business partners to put up to, you know, $100,000 to make the purchase for them. So if I do a technical analysis and I see that, hey, this is a really good buy area, I will start buying in $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 wherever I want to, right? And then the next day, I just call up my Leon or David and tell them, hey, man, I just bought you $50,000 or $100,000 worth of crypto, so send me my Bitcoins. And they will do that. And I trust them with their technical analysis, and I let them do the same thing too. So many of you guys know that Leon broadcasts on our channel with us. He's my co-host. Right now, the beginning of this year, he just had his first child. He's been working hard to get his first child, and he got his first child. So he's been busy with that. So if you guys are wondering why he's not in this broadcast with me, that's the reason. Okay, so so if you guys like Baggio might say that I'm doing this for noobs, and my response is absolutely, because if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be sitting here watching me. And number two is, if anybody can do technical analysis that they want, guys, but at the end of the day, it comes down to is how much money are you putting on it when you do the technical analysis, okay? If you ain't putting $1 on it, it doesn't mean shit, okay? Is people can do all the technical analysis they want, but at the end of the day, I ask them how much money are you putting on that, and when they say that they're not putting any money on it, it ain't real technical analysis, okay? Now, in this particular case, I'm doing it because I think it was Mind Alchemist. I was asking for suggestions, right? And I think somebody said Bitcoin, so that's why I did it, okay? So so here we go, guys. Thanks, I'm the guy. You just gave me lots of love there. I appreciate that, right? If you're on the Rise app and you want to come on stage and join me on stage, just raise your hand and let me know, and I'll bring you on stage if you want to talk shop here about crypto and about technical analysis here, okay? So this is where I would be looking to buy. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you guys look at this and measure this, if you notice the distance in this channel here, guys, let me just draw a box here for you guys, okay? I want you guys to notice this, okay? In this channel, I would be willing to buy anything up to here, okay? Depending upon here, and then up to here. You see how it's at the top of the channel now? Right there, guys, right? So anything that's in the lower 1/3 is where I prefer to buy. Now, if I buy in at 9,000 and it drops to 8,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 or 5,000, then I just buy a little bit more. So let's say that I have put aside $1,000, right, to buy some Bitcoins, okay? I don't jump in and just buy that whole $1,000 all at one time, right? What I'll do is I'll buy like $200 here, and then if it drops down to here, I'll buy another $100. If it drops down to here, I'll buy another $100. If it falls down here, I'll buy another $100. If it drops down to here, I'll buy another $100 until I accumulate everything that I need, right? Is that for me, babe? What is that, sushi? Okay. My wife is in front of me making some sushi and a bunch of other stuff, so I got an awesome wife, guys, okay? So anyways, now I draw out this 1/3, guys, because my rule of thumb is that if I identify the trend channel, now sometimes the trend channel is not always easy to identify, but in cryptocurrencies, it doesn't have all the bullshit manipulation that the regular Forex futures and stock market has. So because of this, I feel like it's a cleaner market. And when you have a cleaner market without a bunch of bullshit manipulation, then it's a lot easier to have a clear, accurate trend channel or a trend line, okay? So in this particular case, I can clearly see that this is the trend channel of the price of the price of Bitcoin, okay? Now, once I see that and I can clearly identify that this is a clear trend channel to me, I tell myself that I'm willing to get in at the bottom 1/3. I'm not willing to get in after that, okay? So let's just say that the price of Bitcoin goes up and it goes up and it does this. Let's just say that it does something like this. It continues to go down here, right? And then it goes back up, right? And then it starts to break above 12,000 like that, and it goes up. Well, once it starts to get to the 12,000 mark, I am no longer a buyer, okay? I'm no longer a buyer. I am just going to hold. Now, there's several things that you can do in cryptocurrencies, okay? You can either buy, sell, or hold, okay? Those are the typical things that you can do, okay? So if I can buy, sell, or hold, I would be looking to buy down here at the bottom 1/3 of the trend channel. And if you say, hey, Ty, I would feel more comfortable if it's at the bottom 1/4 or the bottom 20% or the bottom 10%, that's absolutely fine too. Whatever your decision is to buy in, right? Just make sure that it stays consistently the same each time, okay? And then once it starts to get above the 1/3, more than likely I'm not going to be buying anymore. And if I missed out on it, that's okay. Okay, that's all right. So I got Dom Cardio here. He just raised his hand. So let me see if I can bring him up on stage here to see if he wants to ask a question or what. Okay, and if he doesn't ask the question, right, then I'll just bring him back off stage. All right. So, okay. Now, So I don't see him answering it, right? So I'm going to bring him off stage. So this is some of the things that I like about the Rise app that I haven't been able to do in YouTube, right? Because a lot of times on YouTube, there's a lot of people that's trolling and they just leave bullshit comments in there and you don't know if they're serious or not, right? But on here, right, it's easier to bring people on stage and then they can ask you the questions. And most trolls, they'll troll you with comments, but you got to be a really a professional troll to come on camera to troll people. Okay, so I find that on the Rise app, I just tend to have less trolls screwing around with me while I'm broadcasting. Okay, so now I'm going to pause right here and answer a question. Take a question here from Todd Toe on YouTube, and he says that I don't trade. I buy for 12 months, then reevaluate for a sell or a hold, much less stress, and money is similar, okay? And I agree with him 100%. 100% I agree with Todd Toe there that, you know, long-term trades make a lot more money and take a lot less risk. I would rather bet a small bet. I'd rather place a small bet or a small amount of money on a trade down here on Bitcoin, like right here, and place a small bet on it, and then wait for it to go all the way up to 20, 24,000, then to jack around trying to buy and sell in the short term, okay? Because the infrastructure, the margin trading and all that stuff is not efficient and it's not built out correctly yet in the cryptocurrency market like it is on the stock market or the Forex market. So I would not be jacking around with too many day trades or short-term trades. I would focus on trades that I hold for a few months or a few years, okay? Todd says technical analysis works wonderful in hindsight, but not foresight. And that's absolutely correct. For the people, and I would like to add that for the people that don't know how to do technical analysis, it always works 100% good in hindsight. But unfortunately, since I've been trading and I trade with real money, real Bitcoins in the markets, right? I trade and the technical analysis I do, I put real coins on it. So when I trade, I have to do it in real time. I can't do it in hindsight, okay? So based on this, I don't need to buy any more Bitcoins. I have enough Bitcoins in my portfolio already. But if I did, I would have started buying back down here on this red candle, okay? I don't like buying coins on green candles. I like buying it on red candles, okay? Now, you might look at it and say, hey, Ty, that's easy to say because that's in hindsight. Well, I say that in hindsight because I don't need to buy it, okay? But if I need to buy it, I would have my orders ready for anything that's below 8,000 on red candles. So when people are selling, I'm buying, okay? So when I'm a buyer, I want sellers. I don't want buyers. I don't have to compete with other buyers, okay? So, hey, what's up, Ed from San Francisco? Thanks for joining us, right? So enough about the Bitcoin here. It's in a decent buy area. It's still within, if I would needed to buy Bitcoins, okay, it's still within that buy area that I would consider, okay? Now, I don't know if you're trying to come on, raising your hand to ask a question or come on stage, Dom Cardio, but if you want to come on stage, just type it in and I'll bring you on stage, okay? So let me see here. Okay, it's him walking. All right, cool deal. Cool deal. All right, so enough about Bitcoins. Let's go into the next coin on the that people want me to do analysis on here. Let me look through EOS. So, okay, EOS, Denny Lovejoy, one of our content creators on our channel, he asked me to take a look at EOS and Bitcoin Private, okay? Bitcoin Private, I'm not gonna take too much look at that really quick here. The reason why Bitcoin Private, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it is because it's not on a major exchange yet. So that's why I don't even have it on my list, right? I wanna see something on a major exchange before I do analysis, any serious technical analysis on it, right there. So since this one here is not, right? So if you look at this, guys, it's on an uptrend, right? It's on an uptrend so far. So I'm still holding on to my Bitcoin Private for at least a year so that I don't have to pay the maximum taxes on it. I'm willing to hold on to that. Okay, and I like the fact that volume has increased here, and it's only being listed on a minor exchange. It's not being listed on a major exchange yet, right? Like in like a Bittrex or like a Binance or like a HitBTC, right? Now the good news is this: is that one of the Twitter, one of the Bitcoin private devs. Let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter here. His name is, I think, Chris Sumoni. Chris Sumoni is one of the devs for Bitcoin Private, right? And let me show you guys this, okay? Let me bring this over here, okay? And show you guys this, okay? Huh? You key in the toilet?
Yeah.
Okay, so my son just took a poop in the toilet and he wants me to clean his butt, okay? So, can you clean his butt?
Yeah.
All right. Intermission time, guys. Intermission time. Give me 1 minute, guys. All right. All right, guys. Sorry about that intermission restroom break there for my son there, right? Okay, so back to this, guys. What I was saying is this, okay, is that if you look at this, this guy, Chris Sumoni here, is a software and cryptocurrency developer for the Bitcoin Private, and I guess he's the lead developer. I'm not exactly sure, guys, right? But what I find interesting here is that on April 30th, he tweeted out that this is interesting, and this is an API call at HitBTC here. Let's see what it says here. Okay, so on this API call, it has an ID Bitcoin Private, full name, Bitcoin Private, pay-in enabled, follows payment. I don't know what all this technical stuff means, guys. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it's some type of API call to the HitBTC exchange. So it, to me, in my opinion, it indicates that there is something going on at HitBTC to where they are looking to add Bitcoin Private or something, because if they didn't, I don't know why you would be able to do an API call to HitBTC and then be able to see the names Bitcoin Private here. So I don't, full disclosure, guys, if you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know I invest in Bitcoin Private. So there could be an inherent conflict of interest in me talking about it, since it's right here. But I'm just relaying to you guys and interpreting what their lead developer is saying, okay? I don't know what that means, okay? I think he's the one who did the Bitcoin ledger, added the code for the Bitcoin ledger support, okay? And here's their roadmap here if you guys want to take a look at it. They added Ledger Nano support on April 16th, Electrum release for Ledger Nano April 19th. So here's all the other stuff that they're doing, okay? So, oh, here's another interesting thing here. I guess everyone knows that Rhett Creighton, the founder of Bitcoin Private, he left the project, okay? Or he got booted out, or he's not doing any of the work. I don't know what the hell the drama is, or the political bullshit that's going on behind the scenes is, okay? I don't know. Keep in mind, guys, I'm an investor and a trader just like anyone else. You know, just because I interviewed him doesn't mean like I have inside scoop or anything like that. You know, whatever I interview him on video and I put it online for you guys, that's what as much as I know. Like I try to reach out to him on, you know, I try to call him up on his cell phone and ask him what's going on after I heard that he got booted out from the GitHub and everything, but I did not get a, he did not answer his cell phone. So I don't know, guys. Okay. So I tried to find out the information for you guys, but I didn't. Now, I'm not going to do too much of an in-depth analysis on the Bitcoin private other than that fundamental analysis, simply because if we try to do a technical analysis on this, it's not really, in my opinion, very accurate because there's not a lot of volume being traded, okay, on it, as much as I would like to see. So I don't consider that really legit volume, okay? So it only has like 1 million in a 24-hour period, so that's not very much. Hey guys, can you guys turn the volume down on the video games? Hey Max. Okay, thank you. So I just clean your butt so you can at least turn the music down a little bit. Okay. Okay, guys. So here's another thing that I like about the Rise app. So if somebody likes what I'm doing here, right, they can actually reward me with tokens. Now, this 10,000 coins that keeps coming in, I'm not clear, right? See the 8x and the 7x that just came in on the screen right there, right there. Okay. So those are people giving me love, giving me likes. Okay. Now that's cool. So that way I can see in real time if people like what I'm even talking about or not. On the YouTube, it's kind of hard to tell when somebody actually likes what I'm talking about and they dislike it. Now, it's not because I'm worried about getting emotional or butthurt if somebody likes or dislikes what I'm talking about. It just helps me to be able to create the content that people actually want to hear and they can benefit from. I don't want to sit here and be running my mouth and talk a bunch of bullshit that nobody wants to hear, okay? So I'm glad that this is up. Now, I think it's every time somebody signs up because they join because of me broadcasting on the Rise app, that this is why the 10,000 coins are coming in. That's the only thing I can think of, okay? So if somebody else has a better explanation of it, they're welcome to explain it, okay? So I just grab it and swipe it to the side and get it out of the way. Now, I'm the guy is raising his hand, so let me see if I can bring him on stage here. Maybe he wants to say something, right? What's up, bro? Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing? So I've been using the Rise app for a little while now.
Okay.
And
so
I love the app.
Hey, so what's your name first? First of all, what's your name so that I know how to address you?
Oh, I'm Milton. On YouTube, I'm Investor Milton.
Okay, Investor Milton. So this is the reason why I'm broadcasting on the Rise app right here, guys, is that whenever we have viewers, sometimes I don't get the chance to talk to them like I do now. So I'm glad that you came on board on stage, and then now I can have a discussion, So what do you think about the analysis so far? Everything going well for you?
Definitely. You bringing so much value. I'm learning. I'm learning. How you do what you do, and
okay.
I love the Rise app. By the way, like I know that I actually heard about this project on one of your videos reviewing props.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you said that. Full disclosure, guys, I'm an investor in the props project, so there's going to be an inherent conflict of interest that I'm talking about good things about it, right? But keep in mind, guys, I'm a video content creator, so anybody that creates video software or products that solves the problems that I see on YouTube, I'm going to be a big supporter of it. So I'm not going to talk about something that I don't like, okay? So these are the things that I like about the Rise app. I'm able to broadcast and be able to talk to you and, Investor Milton and other people that want to jump on, So let's get back to the technical analysis here. What do you want me to go over next, man? Pick a coin, right? hold on real quick. Let me do the EOS because somebody, EOS, somebody asked about it earlier. So here's the thing, guys. When I type in EOS BTC here, the first thing I look at there's a price chart from Binance and then there's one from Bitfinex, okay? So I look at it to see which one has more volume, and both of them have pretty good size volume. Now, if you don't know off the top of your head, like I do, right, or not familiar with it and you're new to crypto, then you come over here to coinmarketcap.com and you type in EOS, right, and you click on it, and what you do is you come down here and they trade lots of volume here, 3 billion in the last 24 hours. So that's a huge amount of volume. They're hitting new price highs there. Okay. So you come over here to market cap, to markets, and it'll tell you here that, okay, so Bitfinex and Binance, they're in the top 6 right there, number 5 and number 6. Let me just magnify that so you guys can see it. There it is. So you can see that they trade a lot of volume there. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to look at the price charts and then go and look at the price data for something that trades only like at LA token over here or whatever that exchange is, and it only trades 4,000 when you can look at the volume over here that's traded at up here. Okay, right? So to give you guys an example here, right? If you go to a car dealership investor, Milton, right? And you go there and they say, hey man, this this Honda Accord is the hottest selling car in America right now. And you go there and, hey, thanks for the love there, university, right? Let's just say that you go to a Honda dealership and they say, hey man, this is the hottest selling car in America, this Honda. And you ask them, well, how many cars did you sell this month? And they say, we sold 1 Honda, right? And then you go over to this other dealership and they say that, hey man, the Honda is the hottest selling car in America this month, you know, and you ask them, well, how many cars did you sell? And you say, and they say, hey man, we sold 500 of them this month, right? Well, then that's a better accurate comparison, right? That volume is selling, okay? So like they come out with a new Samsung phone or they come out with a new iPhone or something like that, and one company sells 1 million units and the other company sells 5 million units, well, then you know that one is more popular, and the one that's selling 5 million, I would tend to listen to what they're saying when it comes to, you know, when you're doing analysis on what phone is more popular or things like that. So in this case, you have Bitfinex and Binance, so either one of them is fine. They trade lots of volume here. So between the two, the next thing I would ask myself is which price chart do I look at, the one from Binance or the one from Bitfinex? And I would usually go with the one from Binance simply because I have access to that one and I don't have access to trading on Bitfinex. Now, Milton, if you are in Hong Kong or something and you have access, or you're in another country or you're in another location, wherever it is, right? I'm just using these as an example. If you have access to Bitfinex, but you don't have access to Binance for whatever reason, then what you do is you just go with the Bitfinex price, okay? So in this case, I have access to Binance. I don't have access to Bitfinex. So I'm gonna go back to the trading view charts here. And so when I select the price of EOS, I'm gonna select it from the Binance price data, okay? And so when I click on that, I see that there's a huge run up in price. Now, here's the thing, guys. Right off the bat, when I see something like this, I rarely do any more analysis on it, okay? The reason why is because of this. I don't have to draw a trend channel in to see what the price is doing. If I just, for some of you guys that don't see it, right, it's already outside the trend channel. Okay, it's already outside, so I'm not gonna do anything. I would have to wait for it to come back down close to the top of this channel before I even consider doing anything with it. So even if this is good and even it goes to the moon, it goes up another 10x, I really don't give a shit, right? Because it's already moved up. It's not my parameters, right? So you have to, I want to remind you, Milton, and everyone else that's listening, okay, is that whenever you have X amount of money, whether you have $100, whether you have $1,000 or $100,000, it's your money. It's your choice of what you want to do with it. So do you want to buy it when it's outside of your parameters? All right. I'm not saying that it's overbought, oversold, or it's too high or too low. All I'm saying is that it's not in your parameters, right? So are you married, single?
Single.
Single, okay. So let's say that you're into girls and you're looking for a specific type of girl, right? Let's say that you want, I don't know what kind of girls you like, but I'm just gonna make up some examples here, okay? Let's say you want a black girl and she's gotta have long hair, you know, down to her shoulders or whatever, or, you know, she gotta have, you know, big lips or small lips or whatever, right? And she gotta be a certain height, 5'5", 6'5", whatever the criteria is, right? That's what you're gonna go for. So you have a choice. You know, if you're one of those guys that, you know, follow the current culture and you have one girlfriend at a time, then you're probably gonna be really picky. So when I said one girlfriend at a time, my wife is checking me out, make sure I ain't talking about some other shit. My wife is checking me out, right? So what I'm saying is this: I got to be careful because she's monitoring me. You know, when she hears me talking about girls and girlfriends instead of crypto, you know, her ears start to and she's like, you know, yeah, like what are you talking about over there? You know,
what did you say?
Yeah, you know. So anyway, what I'm saying is that you're going to be very selective of the girl that you want. She's got to meet certain criteria. So when I'm trading and I'm putting my hard-earned money into the crypto markets, right? And I say hard-earned money because people might say that, hey, Ty, you're a millionaire right now, you know, so you got money, you can just put on any crypto you want. That's bullshit. You know, I worked my ass off to get to where the point I'm at here today, and I didn't get here by making stupid, irrational decisions, jumping on anything that comes by, right? So I'm gonna still be selective. There's 1,500 cryptocurrencies out there, guys. 1,600, something like that. The numbers keep changing.
And there's 2,000 waiting to get into the market.
Yeah, exactly. There's 1,600 plus cryptocurrencies on there. I'm going to be picky. I can put my money on any one of those 1,600. I'm going to pick the one that best fits my criteria. Okay. Otherwise, why should I put money into it? Okay. So back to this right here. It's not, I'm not even going to do technical analysis on this because it's outside of my criteria. Right? Without me even drawing the trend channel, it's already outside. And I don't buy shit after a huge run up in price like that. You know, that's for amateurs. I've been an amateur for a long time already. I've lost a shitload of money learning how to trade and invest. So I'm not gonna. I've you know, at 4 years old now, I've learned to not make that mistake. Oh wait a minute. I think I'm 45 now. Am I 45 now? Right? Okay.
Hey Ty, I wanted to say, I really appreciate you. And I understand exactly what you were saying. People, they pay attention to like the results, but they don't pay attention to how you got there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens a lot to me too. So
yeah.
I really understand that too. Hey,
yeah.
Can we do maybe some technical analysis on a project called Elastos?
A what?
Elastos, E-L-A-S-T-O-S.
E-L-A-S, Elastos, E-L-A is a symbol?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let me see. Volume in the last 24 hours, 15 million. So that's interesting. Market cap is 45 million. Okay, now, okay. I'm glad that you brought this up, okay? Just out in the middle. This is unplanned, unrehearsed, guys, right? So I just want to hold on real quick, okay? Let me see if there's any questions from the YouTube here, okay? So there's a request for technical analysis on Icon and One Chain, right? So I'll do that. I'll do the that after I do this Elastos here, okay? So yeah, I'll just hold your thoughts, guys. Just hold on. I'll do Icon here in a minute, but let me just, I think that this is important here. So Milton here just threw a coin at me that I have no clue about, okay? And I want you guys to see how I analyze it really quick to see if this is something I need to continue looking at or something that I don't even waste time with, okay? So first of all, the volume is above 1 million, so that's adequate, right? So I look at this. So there was a huge run up earlier in the year, and now it's down to here. Now, the thing that concerns me is this, right? This right here. So I'm gonna put in the market cap here to see what it looks like. So something happened right here, right? So out of nowhere, the market cap just jumps up out of nowhere. So is it a correction that's on coin market cap? Because you know, like they misprinted, they misrepresented the number of Bitcoin. What do you call that? A Bitcoin private that was out there on the markets. So because of that, you know, when they corrected it after the Bitcoin private community brought it to their attention, it had a huge spike. It's something similar to this, if I remember it correctly, right? So when something like that happens, right, I want to know like what's causing that. So I would have to go and do research on that before I can do analysis on it, right? And also, let me see the price of Bitcoin here, right? So the price of Bitcoin is fairly stable. So something is funny about the market cap, I'm gonna have to go and do research on that. But if we just look at the price only, right? Let me see where this is traded at. Okay. So if I come over here,
on Rubio.
yeah, and Huobi, this is a this exchange has been around for a while. Okay, so I don't have an account at Huobi. I guess that's how you use it. It's in Chinese. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it correctly, right? But let me come over here and I type in ELA BTC. So it's not on. How about? Okay, so what is it traded against? It's traded against Bitcoin, right? So I cannot do analysis on it on TradingView, and I don't have a way to do analysis on it. So what I would have to do is I would have to take a screenshot of this and then import it into like Photoshop or something else, and then do a trend analysis on it. Okay, so if I look here, just off the top of my head, I can see that, you see how this is going up in a channel? You guys have to use your imagination, okay, guys? So this is hitting the bottom of the channel. Right here is the bottom of the channel, bottom of the channel. Right here is bottom of the channel. And right here, we're back at the bottom of the channel. So now, if I were looking to buy this, right? Or if you ask me, hey, is this, you know, if I'm looking at this, should I be buying or selling or holding? If I want to get into Elastos, I'm not making any recommendations to get into it, but just from a technical perspective, from a technical analysis perspective, right? This would be one of those that would be a buying opportunity here, okay? So that's not a recommendation for you guys to get into it. All I'm saying is that from a technical perspective, if I was a short-term trader and I didn't give a shit about what this coin was doing, all I'm doing is just trading off of technical analysis only, then I would start to buy a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and there's enough volume there for me to sell it and unload it when it gets up to the top, back up to the top here at the high of resistance there. And then I would take some of the profits off to cover my original risk. And then I would just let the remaining balance keep going to see how far it would go. Okay, so that's what I would do if I was just a technical trader, right? I do not do a lot of short-term trades because I'm in one of the highest tax brackets in America. So if I take a trade in a short-term trade, if let's just say that every $100 I make a profit, like about 40–50% of it, so anywhere between 40 to 50% of it could go to the government, right? So I don't have a lot of interest in doing that. Okay, so all right. So the next one on the list here from the requests here. Okay. Now, if I miss anybody's request, just put it back into the chat, guys. If you're on the Rise app or if you're on YouTube, right? Just put it back in. The next one is, I think I see right here, is the Icon and one chain. Okay, so let's just do Icon first. That's a popular one, so it should not be a problem pulling that one up. Okay, ICX. Okay. BTC. So this is at Binance. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so first thing I do is I pull up a chart and I draw my trend channel, right? Right there. Okay, right there. How quick that was. Okay, I don't screw around, guys, with this. Okay, I don't like wasting a lot of time on it because I just need to get, this is the least important component. Thanks for the love there, whoever it was that just put it in, man. You know, so this is the least important component of trading, guys. So you guys know that, okay? The least important component of trading. And this is the part that everybody on YouTube and everybody on the internet and their grandmother likes to focus on, is the technical analysis, right? Okay, Rabbi Chutzpah, he asked for me to do analysis of Ethereum. Just go back and rewind this video and watch the beginning, because I already did the analysis on Ethereum, I think, earlier, right? If I remember it correctly, right? Hold up on Neo. So let's do this right here. So this is Icon, and I look at it, and it's like right at that area where it's just above the 1/3 area right here. Okay, so and I count the 1/3 from the bottom of the trend channel. Okay, and if you want to count it from the low, you're welcome to do that too. It is whichever method that you use. So this is about the low of the trend channel here, right? Now, you know what? Let me do this so that it's more, it's easier for the new people, because we got a lot of software engineers, we got architects, we got doctors in there, and they want like hardcore numbers. Okay, so what I do is I'll divide the high up here to the low down here, right? And let me do this. This is an easier method, guys. I'm changing this up on the fly because I don't want to confuse people. So I'll mark this off at the top. I'll mark this off at the bottom, right there. And then I divide it into thirds. So it's about right there. And I'm eyeballing it, okay? It doesn't even have to be perfect, guys. All right? It does not have to be perfect. Don't sit there and try to be perfect. If you are trying to be perfect on technical analysis, you're doing it wrong, okay? That's not how money is made in crypto, okay? So right there, bam, look at that. Hey, I didn't teach art. I used to not be an art teacher for nothing, bro. Look at that. Oh, right. I was a little bit off on that top one, right? Okay, so what I would do is this, guys. Since Icon is, no matter how popular it is, the fact that it's outside of my, the fact that it's above that 1/3 area, I don't even bother looking at it anymore. So it doesn't matter how good it is, guys, right? I just want to pause for a moment and remind everyone, guys, that we are not here to play favorites. Okay, this is not like in high school where everybody's trying to get into the what do you call that, the yearbook, and be popular and be be the likable person. Okay, my wife is over there eating dinner and she doesn't give a shit which one of these coins is popular. Okay, she tells me all the time, bring home the bacon. Okay, bring home the cheddar. Okay, back in the hood where I grew up in, they'd say, where's the cheddar? You know, you're gonna go home, go. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't give a shit which any of these coins do. Neither do my kids, right? I just clean my son's butt, and had to go there and help him, toilet train him, right? He doesn't give a shit where I got the toilet paper from. All he knows is that, hey, Dad, go make some money and go get some toilet paper and clean my butt, okay? That's all he cares about. When he's getting milk and he's getting diapers, that's all he cares about. He doesn't care which one of these coins are doing. All he cares about is, am I bringing home the money or not to buy him some diapers, okay? So when you're looking at this, Icon might be revolutionary. I don't even know what the hell it does. It might change the world. But the fact is, it does not fit my technical criteria. So if it doesn't fit my technical criteria, I scrap it and move on, okay? It's not to say that it's a bad coin. It's not to say that it's a good coin. Now, what I'll do is I'll leave my analysis the way it is right there. And if I come back a week from now and the price is down to here, then I'll look at, hey, you know what? There's an opportunity for me to get into Icon here. And then I'll calculate my portfolio. I'll make sure that I use the smallest bet size that I can get away with, and I'll throw a little bit of money at it and then see where it goes from there, okay? So that's what I'm doing here. I'm not playing favorites, okay? This is not like in high school where, you go onto the team and you pick, oh, I want you on my team, and I want her on my team, I want him on my team. That's not what this is all about, guys. Sometimes people get into the crypto and they forget about that you're here to make money for your family. You're not here to see if who's right, who's wrong, who's better. I'm better than Ty. Ty's better than me. I'm better than Milton. And who gives a shit about none of that? Okay. What matters is that you make sure that you control the risk that you have, and that's it. Okay. So, all right. What's the next one? One chain. Okay. So come over to here. Look at one chain real quick. I met those guys in Austin. At the Texas Bitcoin conference. I met some of those guys, chatted with them a little bit. They gave me their business card. So here it is. They trade 14 million, right? Let me see here. It's 14 million right here. Prod SR says, Ty's the real deal. If I could attend his seminar, I will be the first. I will be in the first row. Okay. Now, I appreciate you saying that. Okay, I really do. I appreciate you saying that, Prod SR. Okay, and the reason why I try to keep it real on these broadcasts, guys, because I see so many people coming into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? And they forget why they're getting in here. They're in here to make money. And some people forget, and they're like, oh, I'm here to change the world. You ain't changing shit. When your ass is broke, you ain't changing shit, okay? So don't give me that bullshit, okay? People always say that, hey, you know, you're all about making the money, you know, Ty, you know? And I'm like, you're damn right I'm here about making the money, right? Because the money allows me to be able to help other people after I help my family, after I'm done helping my wife, feeding my wife and feeding my kids. Now I got extra time and resources. Do you think that I would have time to sit here and broadcast this shit, you know, if I didn't have enough money, you know, to be able to be free and be able to sit here and broadcast and help you and the other people, right? So the fact that, you know, people don't understand that, I don't know what to say, you know. Like some people, I've heard some of my trolls say that, oh, you know, it's all about the money for you. And I'm like, you're damn right it is, right? Well, what do you want me to say here? Lie to you that, oh, I'm here to
you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not okay, then how are you going to help anyone?
Yeah. The other day, I bought 4, I think it was 6. Hold on, let me grab it and I'll show you guys. Give me 1 second.
Oh, this is awesome, guys. I'm really enjoying being on cryptocurrency market with Ty Zen.
Okay, so I was sitting in a Mexican restaurant, okay?
Thank you for the love.
Hey, thanks for the love there, Jet. You're hooking up Milton, man. Hooking him up like a tow truck. Okay, guys. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay? These are chocolate bars. Okay? I have no idea what brand they are. I have no idea what they even taste like. Okay? I was sitting there eating some tacos in the hood. All right? And I was sitting there. Some young black kid came up to me out of nowhere. I'm sitting here, you know, they just put the tacos on my table, right? And the reason why I was in the hood, guys, okay? I grew up in the hood, but man, I try to stay my ass out of there, okay? So just so you know, I didn't go there just because I wanted to, right? I went there because I had to look at a mining operation, okay? And you know, they were this place I was going to. They were constructing some huge miners, huge Bitcoin miners, massive. I mean, massive. Okay, and I'm going there doing some research on it to see if I want to invest into it or not. You know, okay. But I was taking a break from inspecting the mining operations, and I went into this area, this little taco stand to eat some tacos. Okay. And the waiter puts the tacos on my table, and before I can eat it, this young black kid comes in and he taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Hey man, you know, would you like to buy some chocolate bars? You know, I'm selling these for my school. I'm raising some money, you know." So I looked in the box that he had, and he had a bunch of them in there, and I just bought the whole box from him. Okay, just to help a brother out. Okay, now, and then I walked outside the taco stand, and there was some Mexican. There's an old Mexican guy. He saw me, and he goes, he saw me with these, and he said, you know, can I get a few dollars from you? You know, I want to buy some food because I'm hungry, right? So I grabbed one of the bars and I gave it to him. I said, "No, I ain't gonna give you no money, but I'll give you one of these bars to eat." Right, because I don't know what the hell he's going to go do with the money, right?
Definitely.
So, yeah. So
I used to be homeless.
Yeah, you know, we've all been homeless before, man. If you grew up in the hood, man, you know, if you grew up in the hood, everyone's been homeless at least once, man. Okay, so, anyways, I was able to give him, the kid, the money. I think it was like $3 per bar. So I got the box from him, right? And I don't know when I'm going to eat all this chocolate, okay? But I was able to help the young kid out. You know, he was a little young kid, probably 10, 12 years old, you know. I did not sense that he was trying to hustle me or whatever, you know. It looks like he's trying to raise some money for the school. There was other kids outside I can see trying to sell the chocolate bars. So I just bought it from him to help him out. and then I helped out the other guy. Now, I remember back many years ago when I was a teenager, back in the hood, right? Man, I saw people eating this shit, and my mouth was watering, man. I don't know if you guys ever had a situation where you watch somebody else eat something and you don't have the money to buy it, and your mouth is sitting there watering and shit because you can't eat it.
Or even like smelling food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I remember back in the hood, there was a few, I live in East Texas, where it was all, my dad thought that the neighborhood that I was living in was a really good neighborhood. He got a really good deal because he bought like a half a city block for like 20-something thousand bucks or something shit. And my brother and I kept telling him, Dad, this place is like ghetto. We're the only non-black people living here. And he was like, don't worry about it. You know, all these black people love us, you know? So, and I'm like, why are we here? We're like the only non-black family here. Like, and the black people in my neighborhood, they thought we were nuts. They were like, they don't know if to come and the gangbangers there and the drug dealers and the crack dealers there, they didn't know to come and rob us or shoot us or try to mug us or what they didn't know what to do, because they go, man, these fucking Asians must be stupid or something, you know, because they're the only ones here. Like, you can go for like 8 blocks that way and you don't find nobody but, you know, crackheads and crack dealers and drug dealers, and you go 5 blocks that way, 5 blocks that way, it was all the same. And I remember I would drive down the neighborhood and I would see some of these drug dealers cooking a barbecue, some chicken and stuff. And man, I would smell that grill and that barbecue and my stomach would be hurting because it smelled so good, but I couldn't eat it, man. You know what I'm saying? So I know how it feels when your ass is broke. So when somebody tells me like, hey man, all you worried about is making money in crypto, you're damn right. That's what I'm worried about, okay? Because I like eating that barbecue chicken myself too. Okay. All right. Enough about barbecue. Enough about chocolate bars. Let's get back to here to One Chain. Okay. So One Chain right here, just right off the top, guys, right off the bat, right? First thing I check out is what market are we in? Where is it being traded? And it's being traded on Binance. So One BTC. So I come over here to my watch list and One BTC, and there it is. And fortunately, they have it on TradingView. So right there. So now you see how there's only like 4 or 5 candles there? There's only half a dozen candles. So because of that, it's just got released. So because of that, I am going to put it on a 1 daily chart like that, okay? And then I'm gonna put it on a trend channel right here. And now I want the viewers, you guys out there, to know this, okay? Now I'm drawing these trend channels and it seems like I'm very confident in drawing it because I've drawn these things thousands of times, like probably at least 10,000 times, okay? Now, I would say this, okay? Let's just say that you did not draw it the way that I drew it, okay? Let's say that you did not draw it the way that I drew it. And that's how I would draw it right there, okay? And it's kind of like out here, and since this is very new, okay, I would start, it's an okay buying opportunity here, technical wise. It's okay. Okay, it's not like it's amazing or anything, but it's okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is that I am going to set aside. I'm going to look at my portfolio, and let's just say that I have a. I'm going to give you guys several examples here so you guys understand this. Okay. Hey, and thanks to user Nameth for joining Rise there. So here's the thing, guys. Let's just say that I have $1,000. Okay. I'm going to do the math here so you guys know. Okay. So let's just say that I have $1,000. Or multiply that by 0.01, which is 1%. That's about $10. Okay. Now I go to One Chain and I see that, hey man, they trade $14 million a day. I can get a $10 order filled at any time. Okay. So when you're small, you can be more flexible in when you get in. So like I can say, hey, you know what? I'm not buying shit, okay, until it comes down to here. I'm not buying anything until it comes down to right there, okay? And if I don't get in, I don't care. I'm taking my $10, I'm going somewhere else, okay? Now, let's just say that if I have $100, let's say if I have a $10,000 portfolio, multiply that by 0.01, okay, and I have $100 that I'm going to put into one chain, okay. I can buy $50 right now and wait until it comes down to here and buy another $50, or I can just put $100 right here and buy it all, okay. Now, if I have a $100,000 portfolio, right, and I multiply that by 1%, and I decide, hey, I'm gonna put $1,000 in this, okay? I'm gonna put $1,000 in this, okay? So right away, if I can put $1,000 on it, and I see that this is near the bottom of the channel, like it is, right away, I'm gonna put $100 in it, right away, so that I'm in the game, okay? Right after that, I don't make a lot of decisions. I know that I can put up to $1,000 on this coin. I'm gonna go in there and buy $100 right now, okay? If it falls down some more, I'm gonna buy another $50, right? And if it falls some more, I'm gonna buy another $150. And if it falls, I don't care if it falls all the way down to here. I'm gonna buy like $50 each. And as it falls down, I'm buying it in because I've already allocated that I'm gonna put this amount of money into this coin. And so I can just start putting it on as it's dropping, okay? I don't need to buy all of it at one time. The reason why I don't buy it all at one time is because as your portfolio gets bigger, it's not realistic for you to buy it all at one time, okay? When you have like $1 million portfolio, let's take a look at $1 million, okay? $1 million, okay? And you guys always gotta think this. The shit that I'm doing right now, is it gonna work when my portfolio gets bigger? 99, like the majority of the time, like over 90% of the time, most of the bullshit that people do online when it comes to trading and investing, it does not work when you get to a bigger portfolio. They just don't know that because they've never gotten that big, okay? So let's say that I have $1 million portfolio, okay? And I multiply it by 0.01, that's $10,000, okay? So now, if I want to go in there and buy it, it's not that easy to just go in there and just buy $10,000. You have to buy like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, and then you get your order filled, okay? So just keep in mind that's how the markets work. So if I had to put $10,000 onto this coin to buy this coin, what I would do is I would buy like $1,000 right now, okay? And then as it falls lower, I would buy another, $500. If it goes lower, I'd buy another $500. And I would keep adding to it until I accumulate $10,000 onto this position. The reason why I'm doing that is even if I can click the button and buy $10,000, I just buy a little bit at a time. The reason why is trading is all about bet size, and it's all about controlling your emotions and not feeling too retarded emotions. One is regret, and the other one is fear of missing out. So if this runs up to the moon, I'm gonna feel like, oh man, I missed out on this. I was analyzing it live on the markets for everyone, and I missed out on this move, okay? So that's fear of missing out. So that's like one of the deadliest emotions that you can experience while trading, and when that happens, you're not gonna make a very accurate decision, okay? Most people don't know that. Most people think, oh, I'm just gonna run in here, do all this bullshit technical analysis, and I'm gonna buy here and sell here, buy here and sell here, and get in here and get out here, okay? So, all right, so what we need to do here is this, okay? What we need to do is be able to practice the skill of buying in small pieces at a time, and then later on when it's time to sell, we're gonna sell small pieces at a time, okay? When your portfolio gets bigger, it's not easy for you to just buy in all at one time and sell all at one time, okay? Most of the people that's doing that, they have a very small portfolio, okay? So, Prod R says, you're scalping? Absolutely not. I ain't got time to scalp. I ain't got time to scalp. Man, scalping is not scalable, okay? Just so you guys know that. You gotta have very, very good technology. You gotta have very, very good computer skills to scalp, okay? I have not seen a scalper make money consistently in trading, in stocks, futures, Forex, options, or any kind of markets, okay? So the stuff that I talk about on our channel is only stuff that I have seen people make money consistently in the markets, and I've seen more than one people do it. In other words, I've seen dozens of people able to replicate that process and still be profitable. I don't talk about stupid shit in trading that people talk about where only one person can do it. okay? Because then that means to me that that's a bunch of bullshit. That's just luck. That's just, he has some kind of hardware or software edge somewhere that I don't know about, okay? Like they got the scalpers that they were trying to replace a internet cable, a fiber optic cable from New Jersey to Manhattan, right? And they spent like $500 million on that cable, right? I don't have that kind of money to buy a fiber optic cable to increase the speed of my internet that much. So that's not something I can do, and that's not something I can teach, and that's not something that I can believe in, because only people with a shitload of money can do that, okay? So whenever I hear people talking about scalping or using bots for trading, to me, that's just a bunch of bullshit that cannot be replicated by other people. If you're using a bot, that means that you have software skills, okay? And if you're an Asian dude like me that's not good in math and science, right? Like Leon, he's good in math and science. That's why we have him on the team. But I'm not one of those traders that's good in math and science. So I can't go and use a system that requires me to have the math and science brain skills to do it. I got to rely on something to where I can screw up and screw around and be wrong dozens of times. And all I need to do is be right once or twice, and boom, I can hit the jackpot. That's how I teach the trading, and that's how I do my trading in the traditional markets and in the crypto markets. And that's how I've always coached my students to trade, is set up a system where you can be wrong the majority of the time and still be profitable, okay? Everybody wants to be right, okay? And I coach my students to be profitable, okay? Because at the end of the day, who gives a shit if you're right if you ain't making no money, okay? I know lots of traders that's always right, but they're broke, okay? Whereas I'm wrong over 2/3 of the time, but I'm profitable. That's all that matters, okay? So, okay, so back to this, what I'm saying here, okay? You don't need to win more than you lose. You don't need to win more than you lose, okay? I've seen most of the traders that I know, that I meet in real life, they win more than they lose. No, you don't. And let me show you the math here. And I'm glad that you brought that up, okay? Let me show you how someone that can win a lot of times and still be unprofitable, okay? So let me use this as an example, and I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm the guy, right? So let's just say that we have trader A, right? And he wins, right, 80% of the time. Right? Let's just say that he wins 70% of the time, okay? 70% win, right? 30% loss, okay? And we have trader B, who, like me, only wins 30% of the time, right? And they lose, right, 70% of the time. Right there, okay? Now watch the math in this, guys, right? If you win 70% of the time, but each time you win, you only win $1, right? When you're right, you only write $1, but then when you lose, right, let's just say that you lose $5, okay? And over here, when I win, right, when I lose, I only lose $1. But when I win, let's say that I win $5, okay? Now let's do the math, guys, and let's see who's profitable and who's not. This guy over here, if we take $70 times $1, right, that equals $70 in gains, right? This person here, they lose only 30% of the time, but each time they lose $30 times 30 times 5, okay? And what that does is 30 times 5 is $150 right there in losses, okay? And if you have $150 in losses, but you only have $70 in gain, then your net, right, profit equals, right, a minus $80. Now, how many of you guys want that? I don't, right? Now, over here, this guy over here, right, like me, wins only 30% of the time, but each time they win $5. And so the math in this is $150, right? Out of 100 trades. We're basing all this on a hypothetical 100 trades, okay? So $150 in gains. And then over here, the losses are minus $70 in losses. So look over here, the net profit of trader B equals an $80 gain. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys want to be profitable or do you guys want to be right? Okay. If you guys ever attend my boot camps, right, or anything like that, you guys know that I always stress being profitable over being right. Okay. I don't care if you're wrong 90% of the time as long as you're profitable. Okay. I don't care what kind of system that you set up as long as you are profitable. Okay. Okay, I'm the guy, raise his hand. Let me see if he wants to come back on stage or what. Okay. Okay, does anyone in the, while I'm waiting for the response from the Rise app, does anyone on YouTube have any questions about what I just said here? Ask yourself, guys, do you want to be the trader A? Always right, right? Right? Likes to be right, okay? And this guy likes to be profitable, okay? Which trader do you want? Do you want to be the trader that is right, but you're unprofitable? Or do you want to be the trader that is profitable, but who gives it, you're wrong most of the time, but who cares, right? As long as you're profitable. At the end of the day, at the end of the month, when my wife is asking me, you know, how we're going to pay the bills this month, right? She does not give a shit how many times I'm wrong or how many times I'm right, okay? So I'll bring Denny here. He just raised his hand. Let me pull him up and bring him on stage here, right? And I'm going to take the other guy out. Hey, what's up, Denny?
Oh.
What's up, man?
Milton came by Los Angeles recently, and I had a chance to hang out with him because he interviewed crypto Omar.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome, right? Awesome.
He's actually considering moving to LA.
Who? Milton?
Milton, yep.
Okay. Hey, what city are you in right now, Milton? Oh, I forgot he's not on stage. Hold on.
You can bring him. You can bring him up.
Yeah, let's bring Milton on stage here. All right. Hey, so what city are you in, Milton?
Right now, I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
I was just out there in LA. Gabriel, Omar's brother, interviewed me. I actually got them on the Rise app.
Thanks, Jet. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. Denver is where you need all this chocolate because they legalized marijuana out there, so you can smoke weed and eat chocolate bars.
Yep.
So
just eat edibles and research.
Yeah. So hey, Cleve from Atlanta wants to know how long you've been in the crypto space.
I actually been in the crypto space since last year in Atlanta. I started in Buckhead, Atlanta. I was homeless and I got involved in crypto and now I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, so hey, hold on. Let's rewind the tape here. Okay, so Cleve is from Macon, right? He's one of our bootcamp attendees, right? So I want to hear more about this, man. So talk about, hey guys, on YouTube, guys, we're just gonna pause the trading and analysis here because anytime I hear an inspirational story like this, I always want our viewers to learn from it, because we learn from other people's mistakes. Okay, there's a saying that.
Oh, I made plenty.
Yeah, I think that the Bible says that if you're a wise man or something, if you're a smart man, you learn from your mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Okay, so I think the Bible said it, or Bruce Lee said it, or Confucius. Somebody said it. Okay, don't quote me on the quotes because I always get the wrong people quoting it. Just learn the lessons. Okay. What's up, Philip Stanley? Okay. So talk about what happened here, man. Talk about what happened. where are you originally from? How did you end up homeless? You know, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 28 years old,
Okay.
turning 29 this year.
Awesome.
I'm from New Jersey. North Brunswick is where I was raised.
Uh-huh.
I was living in New York City before I was living in Atlanta. I was the project manager of a construction company in Manhattan. And then things went sour. I ended up going for work in Atlanta. It turned out to be a scam. And I lost all my paperwork, my ID, my birth certificate, everything. And so I couldn't get back to New York. And it gets really expensive when you don't have your ID or any way of identifying yourself to get a hotel room, or, you know, it gets really expensive, especially since people don't do things out of their kindness of their hearts. It gets even more expensive. So I ended up, long story short, I was sleeping at Atlanta International Airport in February last year, and I was there for 3 weeks. And
at the Atlanta airport?
Yeah, I ended up getting a membership at what's it called, a gym. So I used to go over there to take my showers, and then I would just spend the whole day roaming the airport, talking to people. And I actually have videos on my Instagram. I'm the guy, and I actually have a bunch of videos from when I was homeless to my whole journey through crypto.
Okay, so so you were homeless at the Atlanta airport. I've been through that airport multiple times. I've been on the MARTA going up to Buckhead, you know. And so are you still in Atlanta now?
No, I'm in Denver.
Okay.
Actually, so ever since I had a roof over my head, I ended up having a sugar mama for a couple months in Buckhead. So I ended up. It was a friend of mine's wife's best friend, and she was older than me. She was successful, and she lived in Buckhead. I ended up spending the night with her. The next day, she's like, "Move in with me." I was like, "That's perfect. Yes, it's a blessing."
So,
and then I ended up the next day, because I'm no slouch. As soon as I had that the confirmation of having a roof over my head, I went to go get a job, and I got a job as a server at a restaurant in Buckhead. And I was part of the opening team. It's called Taverna. It's a really good restaurant. If you go there and ever ask about Bitcoin, they'll be like, "There used to be this server here that used to talk about Bitcoin every day. And he used to go and take all his money and go down the street to the Bitcoin ATM and put everything in." And that's exactly what I did. Because the thing was, right, after I got my job, right, I went to this Chevron gas station, right, and I saw a Bitcoin ATM sticker, one exactly like this one, right? So it was outside of the gas station, and I was like, "Wait, what? Bitcoin? You could buy and you accept Bitcoin here?" And the last time I ever heard of Bitcoin, was in 2009, around 2009, 2010, when I was an activist at Occupy Wall Street. Oh. And that was the first time I ever heard of Bitcoin. And I thought it was a scam. I thought it was a pyramid scheme. And I was just like, no one's going to buy this stuff. And then I didn't get involved. And like, I really regret it. So just imagine how I felt. That was the last time I ever heard about Bitcoin. And then boom, it's right here at this gas station. So I run in there.
It's a sign. It's a sign from the universe, man. It's a sign from the universe. You know? So
then I go and I'm like, I asked the cash register guy, I'm like, "You buy Bitcoin?" They're like, "Bitcoin? We don't know. Wait, no, the machine, the ATM over there." And I'm like, "Okay." So I see my first Bitcoin ATM, and it just hit me. I was like, "Oh, wow, this is how easy it is." And they got this far from a bunch of hackers and anarchists. They got this far. And then I was like, "Oh, this is a no-brainer."
It's hammer time.
I put in $20.
It's hammer time.
I put in $20, And then I was obsessed ever since that day. I have not stopped researching. Ever since that
what
day.
year was that?
I literally put in 90% of my income for a whole 11 months, right?
Nice.
And
nice.
I invested 90% all last year. And it was the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
And then, like, I ended up getting investors and all this. April of last year, I had my only one, like, real big investor. And he gave me a good amount of money to invest in April of last year. And that just changed everything. And I didn't have to work. I just kept working because I'm like, I'm not taking that out because I know what this is going to be in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Like 2, 3 years. And this was my mentality last year. Yeah. You know?
That's awesome,
just
bro.
Evolved.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's a beautiful story to hear, man. You know, and I remember when I used to live down in Buckhead. You know how? Okay, so let me just time out here, guys. If you're watching this broadcast, so in Atlanta, right? So in case you're listening to this from outside the U.S., Atlanta is like one of the biggest cities in America. It's where Mercedes is building their headquarters in North America, right? North of the Atlanta, because the airport there is massive. And so the people from Europe, when they come over to America, they like to come to Atlanta because that's like the airport and the stuff there is really conducive to people doing business from Europe. And also, that's like one of the biggest African-American concentration of African-American populations in America, like heavily concentrated there. And when I was living there, I also have to say that out of all the major cities in America that have what I consider black hustlers, like people who are go-getters and motivated to get off their ass and go make something happen in their lives, there's no place in America that has more black go-getters than in Atlanta. Okay, now in the ghetto that I grew up in, east of Houston, right? All the black guys in my neighborhood are pale in comparison to the black guys in Atlanta, right? Because the black guys in my neighborhood, all they wanted to do was hustle drugs, be a rapper, or be an athlete, or be an entertainer, right? Whereas the majority of the black guys that I meet in Atlanta, like they're into finances, they're into entrepreneurship, they want to build business. I ain't never seen so many black people want to build a business and entrepreneurs, right? And they just don't want to do it or talk about it. They actually get off their ass and go do it. So if you are if you're a single black female and you're looking for like black go-getters, Atlanta is the city to be in.
Definitely. There's so many entrepreneurs down there. It's just, and it's a hot spot for a blockchain. When I first went to my first meetup, the Atlanta blockchain meetup, and they were pretty impressive at the time last year. Yeah. They had a nice venue, you know, it was nice. And Mike Tidwell,
I know Mike,
the head of the meetup, you know, he was great. You know, his partner was a lot more, you know, I liked when his partner presented. I forget his name right now, but
it's Mike and Mike. It's Mike and Mike. That's how I remember them.
Mike. No. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so they were great, and I learned a lot. And then BitPay's headquarters is in Atlanta, in Buckhead. Yeah, as soon as I find that out, I went to BitPay for 3 days. I went there during their lunch, and I was knocking on the door because I was so enthused about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So then I was like, I'm trying to get my restaurant to accept Bitcoin. Like, so I go, and they kept denying me. They said, we don't have a card. We don't have a phone number. You can't. Like, they kept denying me to talk to anybody in there. And then the third day, I go, and I'm like, I talk to him again. And then James Warhol comes out, and I end up talking to him. And he's the director of marketing and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. We start talking. And he really liked my energy and everything, and told me how I can get merchants to sign up with BitPay. And, you know, like, there's a lot of opportunity in Atlanta, a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, Will Richards. Absolutely. Persistence is the key. The persistence is the key, you know. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
That's where I got these stickers from. These stickers.
Yeah, from BitPay.
And from BitPay, they gave me a package. They sent me a package 2 weeks later to my house, and they gave me a bunch of first edition blockchain magazines and second edition blockchain magazines.
Yeah,
cool.
Man, you know, Atlanta's an awesome city to make money in, man. That's a money-making city. The only downside that I don't like about Atlanta is two things. The traffic is probably the absolute worst in America. Horrible, right? You know,
I was there when the bridge fell.
Yeah, I was there too when that happened. Yeah, I was there last year when that happened, right? The other thing is the trees, man. Too many damn trees for me. I'm not one of those tree huggers, man. Too many trees, man. There's trees everywhere. I feel like I was in like a Stephen King landscape all the time, you know?
Yeah, that's always refreshing for me to come over here to Denver. I keep trying to go to the places where, you know, the money's going. Like, I got myself up out of the situation in Atlanta, and then I came here to Denver because right now I'm working on a project myself, and it's really ICO friendly over here, and the taxes, you know, it's really it's a good place to grow here too in the cryptocurrency space.
Yeah,
I'm gonna definitely head out to the LA though.
Yeah, where Omar's at. Hey, Omar,
and, you know, Danny and all the others. We're creating a team right now so that we can basically get the most content out there and just, you know, the most information possible.
Yeah, Omar is out there, and man, ever since he got to LA, he's working out, and you know, he's all buff, you know, and everything. You know, he's doing broadcasts, you know, with a tank top on, and you know, by the pool side, flexing, you know. Yeah. Which let's get back here to the analysis here. Let me see. So let me see here. Okay, so nope, no scalping. Prod SR. So let me see here. Okay, so I don't know who Root Beagle is, but he says, Ty, what's up, dude? I got a lot of good information from you. I work doing marketing at a crypto hedge fund since 8 months, and you've helped me get into the industry head first. Awesome, man. Awesome. It's always good to hear that, man. You know? So, oh, by the way, Cleve wants to know, are you, well, where's your YouTube channel? You know? You want to plug your YouTube channel real quick?
Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. So anybody want to follow me on YouTube, go to Investor Milton, or Instagram, I'm the guy, to see a different perspective and to actually see the story.
Okay. Okay. Just to be on the safe side, you know, so they go to the correct one, you know, go to my Twitter later on and just tag me on it, and then that way I'll tweet it out to everyone. Okay.
Thank you. It's, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's at Hey Ty Zen. Okay. So I'll bet that investor who originally gave you the money, I'll bet he's happy as shit right now. Right?
Yes, he is.
Well, I bet you he thinks you're like, he thinks
profits at the top. I had to. It was just too good. And then like it was perfect because the agreement ended at the perfect time. So it's like everyone cashed out. Me and him both cashed out at the perfect time in December. Like
nice. I'll bet you he thinks like you're like the market wizard, like the Warren Buffett now.
He named his first kid after me.
Nice.
He named his first kid after me, no lie.
Hey, it wasn't T.I., was it?
Huh?
It wasn't the rapper T.I., was it?
No. No. Oh, that is so funny.
It wasn't the group Migos, was it? All right. Let me see here. Austin got a question. Are you only able to make money in bull markets since U.S. residents aren't allowed on exchanges that allow shorting such as BitMEX and Poloniex? Seems like a major disadvantage. Absolutely not, Austin. This is a great question. I'm going to spend some time on this, Milton.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in here.
Okay. So in the traditional markets like the stocks, futures, Forex, and options, I can shorten it. And I used to short the hell out of it back when I was in the traditional markets, okay? In the short means that you make money from the cryptocurrency going downhill. Okay, and what happens is in the crypto market, the tools and the infrastructure that makes it available for you to make money on the way down is not 100% there like it is in the stock market. So it's not. It's like the best way to describe it is like, imagine if you're playing American football and you have helmets and pads and everything, and then you go to another country where they're playing American football, but they don't have pads, helmets, and everything. So you're not playing. You might be a really good football player here in America, right? And you might be a 150-pound guy and you can play against 200-pound guys. But then when you go to a country where all the players are 200 pounds and you're the only guy there with 150 pounds and no helmet, no pads and none, it's just not safe to play the same strategies, okay? So, so it's not safe to short any crypto. So in our bootcamp training and in our cryptocurrency investing bootcamp and our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, we don't recommend shorting to anyone, not at this moment. Later on, when all the tools and all the infrastructure is built out, then we'll look into it. But right now, we don't encourage shorting at all, okay? So what happens is, Austin is asking, is that are you only able to make money in bull markets? And the answer is yes and no. If I got in at a very low price, if I got in to Bitcoins at, let's just say, I'm gonna do it, just do so the math is easy. If I got in at $1,000 and it went up to $20,000, right? Even if it falls down to $10,000, I'm still profitable. So the answer is yes, and no. It depends upon how you look at it, right? The other thing too is that it seems like a major disadvantage, and it's not. Because if you don't know how to short, you can get slaughtered, right? If you don't know how to calculate the margin and the bet size correctly when there's margin involved for you to short, it's a huge, huge, I lost a shitload of Bitcoins. I mean, a bunch of Bitcoins trying to short and figuring this out when I first started many years ago, and I lost a shitload of Bitcoins. So I can tell you from experience, right? And I know how to short. I've shorted, hundreds and maybe thousands of times in the Forex and the stock market. And I came in here and it's just that the mechanisms are not there. So if you're watching this and you're an experienced trader or you're a new trader, it doesn't matter. Don't be shorting crypto, okay? Look to buy long with a small bet size and then let it run, okay? So which coin do you guys want me to look at here? Let me see. Somebody else had something up here. Dolphin says that the new T.I. and Kanye West song just dropped. I'm not sure which one it is, right? If you can put it in the chat what the name of the song is, I'll go take a look at it. I'm a big T.I. fan, and I'm a big Kanye West fan, right? I like that song from... collab. Yeah, I like that song by T.I., You Don't Know About Me, or I'm not good at reciting lyrics. I recite quotes and lyrics wrong all the time, so don't ask me to do that, okay? Okay, so Denny Lovejoy ask, what's the update on the OTC trade desk? I guess he's talking about the trade desk that we're trying to get licensed for because Will Richards is competent in building software, right? I don't know who Will Richards is, but we are still working on with our...
He's Will Richards. He's a developer, programmer. He actually teaches Python. He's well-versed in cryptocurrency, blockchains, and stuff like that.
Is he from Denver or where's he from?
Georgia. Georgia?
Okay. Okay, first time I've heard of him. But we are getting licensed in the process of registering with FinCEN and everyone and getting licensed for this, okay? So once we get that, then we'll be able to take orders like Cumberland Mining and be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies without getting in trouble. So we want to make sure that we're in compliance with government regulations before we do that, okay? So Coin Martian says, hey, Ty, great content. I'm currently 28, been investing since 19. Talk about your mindset in your late 20s, early 30s, could be life in general or investing, also your personal evolution. Okay. Absolutely. Okay, so in my 20s and 30s, right, Coin Martian was asking me, right? So let's start with my teens, okay? So in my teens, I was very, I was not very academically inclined. You know, most Asians you meet, they're very good academically. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the academic gene, but I was not one of those Asian guys that was good academically in school. So I got into a lot of trouble. You know, I lived in a really, really ghetto neighborhood. I remember the rap group UGK. They're always rapping about all their neighborhood. They were actually talking about my neighborhood, my backyard. You know, so if you guys want to know what the neighborhood looked like, just listen to any of the UGK rap, you know, out there, and you'll know what the neighborhood looks like, right? And so what happened was, when I was growing up there, you know, you always hear me say this on my channels that if you want to soar like an eagle, right? If you want to soar like an eagle, do not hang around a bunch of turkeys, right? And back then, I hung around a bunch of turkeys and I didn't know it. So it got me into a lot of trouble. You know, I was very broke, very poor. I was driving, you know, and, you know, I was put in jail before. You know, I've been incarcerated for, you know, driving without a license, driving without a insurance. You know, I remember one time I was driving, it was raining, it was wet. I was driving a work truck and I ran into the tires on the truck that I was driving. It was so old, so bad. There was no tread on there. And I actually tried to brake from like a distance, but the wheels, the tires were so worn out and the brakes were so worn out and it was wet and it was raining. So it took like a lot longer distance to slow the truck down. And I couldn't slow it down enough and it ran to and it hit this car in front of me. You know, and man, I was sitting there and I was sweating and I was like, man, how am I gonna, you know, they're gonna put me in jail for this because I don't have no insurance and everything. And I literally came out of my truck, man, and I was literally begging the driver not to call the police. You know, because I didn't want to go to jail because I already went to jail for driving without a driver's license. I was, you know, driving without insurance. And it's not because I wanted to break the law. It's because I was so fucking broke that I didn't have any money to pay for the insurance and to get a new driver's license, hire an attorney and shit, you know. And it, you know, whenever I went in there to make a deal or something, I would just plead guilty just so I can get out of jail so I can go back to work as soon as I can and make money and pay the bills, you know. And so when I was growing up there, I remember having to, you know, hustle drugs, getting in trouble, getting incarcerated for drugs, for guns. Man, anything that I can get in trouble for in the hood, I've been in trouble for it, you know. And so at that time, I did not know what making money was about. I just knew that my dad was broke. You know, my mom was broke. My uncle was broke. Everybody around me was broke. Anybody that I knew that I can talk to and I can call on the phone, there was nobody that I knew that made more than like $30,000, $40,000 a year. I didn't know anybody that I can actually call up that made more than $30,000, $40,000 a year. So everybody I knew was broke. All the guys in my neighborhood were hustling drugs or stealing cars or doing something stupid and illegal. So I didn't know any better. So I was just doing the same thing back then. Okay. I was just doing, you know, I thought this is what you do to make money and this is how things work. And so that's what I did. And at that time, my dad made me quit high school so that I can go and work and help pay the bills and stuff. And, you know, one thing led to another and I got involved in a bunch of stupid shit out there, you know, stuff that I can't even talk about because it's so stupid, you know. And so, and it's not because it's going to get me in trouble or something. It's just so shameful that I actually did those stupid things back then. You know, I look back and I regret it, you know, and I always knew that there was a better way. Like, I always thought that, man, there's got to be a better way than this, man, because I can't be doing this shit all my life. I can't be running around at 30, 40 years old, stealing people's bicycles and everything. And the only thing I knew was just to work harder, right? And then that was in my teens. And then in my 20s, I thought that, you know, hey, you know, getting a better, maybe it's because, you know, I'm doing bad because I was not, you know, I'm not college educated. I tried to sign up for, you know, when at that time, there was a period where I was being incarcerated. I tried to sign up for college, you know, what do you call that? When you take the courses outside the college, I was trying to take college correspondence courses, right? And every dollar that I made, I would, you know, buy one course at a time to take it. I'd buy 2 courses. And I would always contact the college professors and ask them, you know, like, how does this psychology help me make money, man? Like, how does this history class or how does the English class help me make money? Like, my English is as good as it's going to get, man. I'm not going to get any better with my English. My grammar is not going to get any better, right? So, and they always kept telling me that it's going to make you a more rounded person. And I'm like, I don't want to be a rounded person. I want to be able to make money and pay my bills and be able to drive around with insurance and not get locked up for driving a car without insurance. I'm thinking like there's guys out there that are robbing and killing people and shit, and they don't go to jail or go to prison. And here I am, I'm getting locked up because I don't have insurance in my car. You know what I'm saying? And it just used to piss me off that I was always broke. Every time me and my older brother would go to the McDonald's and get a Big Mac, we would have to cut it in half and we would fight over who got the bigger piece. Every time we went and split an apple or something, we'd fight over, you know, and we were like big kids, you know. And it's not like we were like young kids or something, like we were like teenagers and shit, you know. So, let me see what happened here. Audio got cut off, guys. Reboot. Right? So, yeah. So what happened was at that time, right? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Okay. Let me see. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so Cleve says he can hear me now. But anyways, I'll bring you back on stage whenever you come back on, Milton. But anyway, guys, what happened was I kept saying that there's got to be a better way, right? And is somewhere, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
So I met a black businessman who came from Brooklyn, right? And when he met me, I was very impressed with the way he looked, and I was very impressed with the way he talked and everything, because all the black guys in my neighborhood, when they open their mouth and talk, you can tell, you know, that they came from the hood, right? And this black guy I met, you know, he sounded very educated, you know, and the way he dressed, he was in a really nice suit and everything. And he just the way, it's not just that he was in a nice suit or something, but just the way he carried himself, there was just something different about him, you know. So I got to, you know, one of the things that I have in mind is that when I see somebody doing something better than me, I want to learn. If I see you, you know, pulling more attractive girls than me and I want to go out with an attractive girl, I'm going to come ask you, hey, man, how did you do that? If you're driving a motorcycle that I like, I'm going to come ask you, hey, man, how did you get that motorcycle? If I see you driving a car that I like, you know, hey, man, how did you do that, man? Is that something I can do? Right? I've never growing up, I figured that, hey, since I'm poor, I'm broke, I'm not college educated and everything, what can be worse, man? Like if I come and ask you how you got that hat or how you got straight teeth or how you got, you know, that jacket, you know, if all you can do is just say no, and I just, okay, well, I'll go ask somebody else.
You're not afraid of asking questions.
No, because like if you're doing something, like if, you know, you got bigger arms than I do, you got more muscles than I do, you're doing something. You know, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something, right, that I'm not doing, because, you know, you got more muscles on your arms, or you driving a car that starts up every time you turn the ignition, and my car, every time I try to get started, I have to get my brother or a couple of my buddies from the hood to come push start the sucker, right? So if you do that, you know, so when I saw this black businessman, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing, man? Like, what's going on? And he told me that. He said, hey man, you know, I asked him about making money, and he was telling me about the businesses he was running, and he came to Texas because he was just, you know, there for business, you know. And I said, hey man, you know, like, and he was telling me how he grew up in you know, in the projects up in Bedford-Stuy, up there in Brooklyn and everything, you know, and all in New York. And I'm like, well, how did you grow up there, you know, in the 60s, you know, because he was like 53, 54 when I met him. So I'm thinking like, wait a minute, you know, like, well, you know, the black guys in my neighborhood, they're saying that they're struggling and shit, but they didn't have to go through the civil rights era. So this black businessman that I was talking to at that time, he said, I remember, you know, I'm not that smart in history, but I remember that, hey man, black people had to go through that civil rights era in America. And I'm like, how the hell did you become wealthy and become a good businessman, a wealthy businessman, when you had to ride the back of the bus and drink out of a different water fountain and had to be bused to school. And wait a minute, man. Like, if you can do that under those conditions, what happened to the black guys, my friends in the neighborhood? You know? And he was like, well, you know, I did this. You know, one of the things I did was I went and I tried to find people that knew how to make money, right? And he said, yeah, there's people that's racist and there's people that's, you know, of course there was people like that, but there are still white people out there that are not racist that's willing to help me. So he said that instead of listening to my broke ass friends, right, I went and listened to people regardless if they were black, white, Asian, Hispanic. He said he didn't care. He goes, the ones that were making money, he goes, I listen to them. And then he said he goes and he helps them and does whatever he can. And they started teaching him how to make money. And that's how he started his businesses. And he lost money. He lost several businesses before he figured it out. And he said it wasn't until he was like mid-40s before he finally figured out how to make money. So most of his 20s and 30s was just trying to figure shit out, you know. And he said that, and I asked him, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing, you know, what do I need to do to get in the same shoes or get on that track like you are? And he said that, well, first of all, man, ain't nobody going to trust you the way you look. You know, and I started bowing up to him, you know, and wanted to fight him when he said that. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell are you talking about, man? You know, but what happened was I was there and I had long hair down to here, you know, when I was like 16, 17, 18, you know, I thought I was cool and everything. And he said, man, he goes, you think somebody's going to trust you with $1 million? And I said, hell yeah. In my mind, you know, I'm thinking that absolutely somebody's going to trust me. You know what I'm saying? So I said, absolutely, somebody's going to trust me. And he said that, no, ain't nobody going to trust you. He goes, ain't nobody going to trust you looking like that. And I wanted to fight him because I thought, you know, he was talking shit to me, you know. But then there was a part of me inside, you know, that was so tired of being broke and having to fight my older brother, you know. And he was much bigger than me. So every time we got into a fight over some food, he'd always win and get the bigger piece, you know, and get a bigger portion, right? Hey, Adib, stop texting me, man. You're ruining my live broadcast, bro. Okay? So you see it showing up on the damn screen and you keep texting me while I'm in the middle of a broadcast, man. You know, that shit cracks me up, man. You know? He sees me broadcasting live and he's texting me so that it shows up on the damn screen, you know? But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I realized, you know what? There was a small part of me that was tired of being broke and poor, you know, and I'm just sick and tired of having to, you know, every month stressing out how am I going to pay my bills and shit. And so I finally realized, I said, man, you know, there was a smart part of me that said that, man, what if he was right, man? What if that black millionaire, that businessman was right, and that I'm holding myself back? Because he kept telling me, he's like, hey, dude, you live in white America and you're looking like an idiot. You know, you look like somebody that no one would trust. And he goes, man, go make yourself look presentable. Go make yourself look presentable. And I said, man, you know what? If my long hair is holding me back, you know, from being, you know, making money and being able to affiliate with people that can help me make some money, and then fuck it, man. You know, so I cut my hair off, and I think that was like 19. And my hair has been short like this since I have been 19. Right?
And it's worked for you.
It's worked because you know what? And things started to change because my image changed. So people started treating me different. And you know, people actually, you know, there was people that came and talked to me, you know, and shit. And I'm like, You know, I first learned how to trade stocks. Okay. And this is something that I never shared with anyone. And then you're the first person I've ever shared this with, Milton, you know, is that I used to go into this library and I would see these white guys track the stock market. They would track the coffee beans, the oil, the gold, the silver, the wheat, the soybean market. And I didn't know what they were doing, but I used to see them do it. And I would hear them talking about, yeah, you know, the price of this going up, you know, the offer is this, the bid is that, you know, you can get at a bid, you know, the spread is this, it's so many dollars. Hey, I think the market's going to go up. Oil is going to be more, you know, gold is going to go down. They were using all these verbiage, all these words that was like, man, what the hell is these guys talking about? But it was a good thing that they were not talking about stocks and they were talking about commodities, because I don't know what Microsoft, Intel, those companies, I don't know what they were. You know what I'm saying? But I knew what gold, I knew what silver was, I knew what coffee beans were, I knew what soybean was, because the stuff that I eat all the time. I can see gold on everybody's teeth. The guys in my neighborhood, they had gold teeth, so I can understand people wearing gold necklaces, gold watches, gold rings. So those are stuff that I can understand. But what interested me was that these white guys sounded like they knew what they were talking about, And so when that black millionaire businessman told me that, hey, the first thing he told me was, make yourself look presentable so people can trust you and want to do business with you. And the second thing that he told me was that, man, you need to stop, if you want to soar like an eagle, you need to start you need to stop hanging around a bunch of turkeys, because all your friends, right? It doesn't matter if you grew up in the hood. It doesn't matter if you grew up in a poor neighborhood. That doesn't mean you have to hang around with a bunch of broke ass dudes, right? Exactly. And I said, well, wow, that's pretty interesting, right? And let me change this to a Bitcoin chart, man, because I don't want people to think that I'm advertising for
one chain.
Yeah, for one chain or something, So let me put it back on Bitcoin or something, Wow,
you have an amazing story, Ty. I did not know that.
Yeah, so somebody's gonna say that, oh, Ty was over there, promoting one chain the entire broadcast, So let me just put it back on Bitcoin there before I get back to this, So what happened was he told me that, hey, man, all these clowns that you're hanging around with, man, you need to go find you some real friends. So that's why when I went, I used to go into this library to borrow books to read up, to figure out how to do better in life, because I couldn't afford to buy the books. So whenever I read like on the news or somebody mentioned that, oh, this book is good, or it's by some rich white dude wrote it, I would try to go to the library and try to borrow it and try to read what that white dude said, and that, the few times I go in there, I see these same white guys always in there talking about trading and investing and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, these must be those white guys that know what the fuck they're doing. And I try to, listen into them, but, they never paid attention to me. Right? They never paid attention to me because I had long hair down to here and I looked like an idiot back then. Right? I did not look like somebody that you would pay attention to. And sure enough, man, I freaking cut my hair short like this, right? And I had, obviously it was short and I had more hair back then because I was younger, but it was thicker. And, I would come by and now they would actually say something to me, like, oh, what's up, man? I'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? What are you guys looking at? What, and they were looking at candlesticks and a bunch of other shit, and I would be like, what the hell are you guys doing? Because they were drawing out these line charts, because back then there was no computers to track the market for you. So these guys were sitting there every day looking at the newspaper prices of coffee, of gold, of wheat, soybean, and they would track the price of it. What's up, Will Richards, man? Thanks, man. Hey, you know what? I feel like I'm at one of those, what do you call that? Those telethons on TV, I feel like we're at one of those telethons, and people are like, sending, like, hey, send in donations to this 1-800 number, and call this 1-800 number and give us donations and shit. Every time I see those.
Thanks to Will for that donation.
Yeah, thanks, Will Richards, for that donations, keep our broadcast going,
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you, Will Richards. More power to the people, man. More power to the people, man. So, and then I started looking at what those white dudes were drawing those graphs, and then they started explaining to me. And it's funny how cutting your freaking hair so that it's not long down to your nipples, you cutting your hair will get somebody to change their mind about you and actually spend time with you to help you draw some price charts and shit, and that was my first like experience. I'm like, wow, all I did was I just cut my hair and tried to talk, to these people and ask them what they were doing. And I was like, wow, and just so that black a millionaire businessman that I keep talking about, his name was Charles, right? And we used to call him the truck. I used to call him Truck, because it was like, you know, he was always like, you just got to keep trucking along, you know, doesn't matter what people say, you know, doesn't matter if you're black or white or Mexican, you just got to keep trucking along towards your goals, man, you know. And so, but anyway, Charles, you know, it made me realize, man, what Charles said was absolutely true, because all I did was I cut my hair, stopped wearing stupid ghetto clothes, right? And I didn't have like fancy clothes back then. I would just wear just a regular white t-shirt and not have sagging pants, not wearing oversized t-shirts and stuff like that. And that was enough to get these white guys to talk to me about trading coffee, you know, and I couldn't believe it that I asked them, you know, hey, like, what is, you know, like, how do you read the finance section in the newspaper? And they would actually sit down and take the time and show me, you know, and you know, like, this is the stock charts here. This is how you read this. And, you know, this symbol means this, and this symbol means it's on the NASDAQ. This symbol means it's on the, you know, now keep in mind that they showed me this and took the time. And at that time, you know, there's an old saying in the Kung Fu, you know, in the Chinese martial arts, they say that when the student is ready, the teacher will be there, right? And I felt like at that time in my life, like I must be ready to get away from the ghetto and to get out of the hood and actually learn about, you know, wealth and to learn about making money, you know. And back then I had this stereotype that, you know, that only white people knew how to make money, because, you know, nobody else in my neighborhood, all the blacks and all the Mexicans and all the Asians, well, there was no Mexicans and Asians. It's just me and just my family and all the black people in Port Arthur was the city that I lived in at that time. You know, that was all the people that was there, was just me and all the black people in the city, okay? And I didn't see anybody making money, right? So I felt like, you know what, this must be that time in my life when I'm, you know, that I'm ready. And that's why these white guys are here teaching me about, you know, how to read stock charts and shit, you know. And I didn't do much then, because back then I still had that poverty, that what Anthony Robbins calls the ghetto, the poverty mindset. So even though these guys showed me, right, I didn't pursue it. And that was like in 2000. No, that was in the 90s. That was like in the 94, 95, 96, somewhere around that time, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until later on, right, that I met another black businessman from the Bahamas. Mustam, thanks for the donations there, Mustam, right? I ran into this black Bahamian businessman from the Bahamas. Dude had a big old afro. Like, I'm not kidding. His afro was so intense, it went past his shoulders, man. And when I first saw him, I was like, dude, man, you need a haircut, bro. It can do you miracles, you know, right? So he introduced me to this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We were talking about money and stuff, and he was like the blackest dude I ever met in my life, man. Like, there's a lot of black people in my neighborhood, but this dude was so black, man. Like, he was like jet black. Like, I used to make fun of him. Yeah, he used to make fun of my squinty eyes and everything. We used to make fun of each other. I used to make fun of his afro, you know. It'd take like 10 bottles of Head and Shoulders to clean all his hair, you know, and shit. But the dude had a massive afro, okay? But anyway, he gave me this really life-changing book called not Think and Grow Rich, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in one of the lessons, there's like 6 lessons in there. And one of those lessons in there, it said, if you want to know how to make money, you got to learn how to make money. Like, you can't go and learn art or learn how to be a personal trainer or learn how to yoga or some shit and make money. If you want to make money, you got to learn how to make money, right? And as simple as that was, Milton, as simple and as easy as that sounds, that was the most revolutionary aha breakthrough moment for me. Like, when I read that, I stayed up all night reading. Like, it's like one of the few times, there's only been like 4 books in my life that I can remember off the top of my head where I stayed up and I did not sleep until I finished reading the book, right? The first one was Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins, okay? Because that was the first one that taught me that your mentality creates your reality. So that one, I stayed up all night to read it, right? The second one was, one of them was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I read through that and I was like, holy shit, man, how come no one ever told me that if I want to know how to make money, I got to learn how to make money, right? Learning, because at that time I was working as a mechanic, a machinist, a welder, at a shipyard. So I was, and when I met this Bahamian businessman, he's like, dude, and I kept thinking like, dude, like, this must be like a sign or something, because I keep running into these black businessmen that keep telling me about, that I need to do this to make more money, or go in this direction or go in that direction. So Muslim raised his hand. Let me see if I can bring him on stage here, right? I don't know if he wants to jump into the conversation or not, but I'll give him a call anyway. If he jumps on, he jumps on. If not, that's okay, right? So anyway, I listened to him, right? And I started noticing, man, that just going around people that knew how to trade, knew how to invest, and knew about real estate and stuff like that was a huge game changer, man. And that's the path that I've been on since then, right? And so that was like in my late 20s, early 30s, right? And because of that, when whatchamacallit asked me, about what I did in the 20s and the 30s, right? Here's something that I would do different, to answer Coin Martian's question, right? So what happened was I realized that now I'm in my mid 40s, the thing that I would do different compared to my 20s and my 20s and my 30s is that I would go back and I would actually spend the time and the money to go and just learn from someone that already knows how to do it. Like, yeah, like the people that I would look for a mentor or someone that knew what they were doing, and I would confirm that they actually knew what they were doing. This is what I would do. I would find somebody that was doing what I wanted to do. So in my case, I wanted to learn how to make money. So I would confirm that they know how to make money, and then they know how to teach it to someone else. Right? That's very important, because somebody might know how to make money, but if they don't know how to teach it to somebody else, it's not going to do you any good. That information is trapped in their head, but they can't convey it to you. You know what I'm saying? They can't convey that to you. So it's in their head. So that's what I would do different. And even when I did not have any money to be able to afford their training programs or whatever, I would, like back then, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was going around the country teaching people how to invest in the stock market, and they were teaching people how to invest into real estate, right? And back then, it was like for a few $100s, I could have gotten into their program, and for several reasons. One was that I would have gotten access to people who wanted to do the same shit that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of a bunch of broke dudes, right? I can actually hang around and be around and network with people that actually want to do better in life, okay? And the second thing is, in addition to the benefit of being around people that want to do the same thing I want to do, right? The second thing that I would do is that I would actually speed up the learning process, because by now I've learned that there's two things that everyone has to pay to become wealthy. One is time, and the other one is money. You have to pay either with time or with money, okay? So the benefit of paying with money is that once you learn how, you can make up the time, and then you can make the money back. Like if you have if someone had, like, when I had to learn how to trade stocks, right? My first stock trading class, I paid like $5,000 and something for it, right? And I went and I paid it, and I learned so much. Like, I spent like 5 years learning how to trade stocks and didn't know how to put in an order. I went and took the first class I took, I remember it was like $5,000, and I got it financed. I didn't even have $5,000. All I had was like a couple of $1,000s to put down, and I went and financed the rest of it, right? And I said, hey, man, my friends all said that, hey, you're stupid, you're crazy, that's a waste of money, If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And I'm like, I don't give a shit, man. Like, I saw this guy buy some stocks, at a seminar. I saw the guy buy some stocks, and he made money right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told him, I said, well, show me that you know what you're doing. And he did it right in front of me. And I'm like, you know what? When somebody does it right in front of me like that, I'm not going to be an idiot, right? And not, If I don't know how to pick up a girl and you told me, hey Ty, I'm gonna show you how to pick up this girl. You see that attractive girl right there at the Lenox Mall or in Buckhead, and I'm gonna go over there and watch this. You know, I'm gonna get her phone number. Well, and I watch you, and you do, and you walk over and you get a phone number, and you come back and you see there's a phone number right there. I'm gonna fucking listen to you. I don't give a shit what anybody says, right? And so that's what I would do different. As I would go back and I would get somebody that knows what they're doing and just follow them, because even if they're not the best in the field, right? At least they've been down the path and they're way ahead of you. And if I can just get to where you're at, right, then I can figure out how to go from there, you know? So that's what I would be doing different. I hope that answers your question there. I know that was a lengthy response there, Coin Martian, you know? But, and that's the thing that I'm doing. So right now, nowadays, I just focus on, you know, just getting people that are knowledgeable about what they're doing and just learn from them. Like just a couple of weeks ago, no, just a week ago, I think, I went out to LA to do some video shoots with one of the original Shark Tanks, Kevin Harrington, you know?
Oh yeah, I did hear you saying that before.
Yeah. And so, you know, I mean, the guy knows how to brand himself. He knows how to, you know, he's one of the sharpest businessmen. You know, everyone has clearly seen him perform on Shark Tank. So when I had an opportunity to go out there and be mentored by him, I'm like, I'm not passing up this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm a trader, you know, I'm an investor, and I got nothing to do with I have nothing to do with whatchamacallit, but what I said, hey, I'll go out there and do it with him just because there's an opportunity to learn to take myself to the next level, right? If somebody's worth, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, yeah, I got something. There's something for me to learn from them, right? So those are the things that I would do different, you know. So
mentors are something that, you know, we lack a lot in the world, or people are not chasing after mentors or role models or anything.
Yeah, it's hey man, I've made so many mistakes in my life, you know, like if you go back, you know, to over 4 years ago when we first started our cryptocurrency channel here on YouTube, right? I mean, we made so many mistakes. It's documented on our channel, you know, like some people say, like, you know, like what makes you, you know, special, or what makes your channel unique. And I always tell people that, man, you know, like go back and see how many people are broadcasting about cryptocurrency trading and investing 4 or 5 years ago. Like we were the only channel that I know of that was talking about trading and investing and doing technical analysis. Now there were people that would like take screenshots and draw lines and shit and put it up on TradingView or some other place, but there's nobody that got on camera and was willing. Like we were the only channel out there, right, that interviewed Vitalik live, right, in person, and was telling people to get into Ethereum back then. And people were telling us we were nuts and we were crazy and everything. And nowadays they look at us and they calling us OGs of crypto, and they calling us legends, you know, because we were the only channel back then to tell people to invest into Ethereum, you know. So, and man, you should have seen the backlash we got back then, you know, when we were telling people about it. So,
you know, how many people used to tell me last year that I was crazy, that I was a scammer and everything, getting involved in crypto, talking about it all the time. And then now they're all calling me up, trying to get investment advice. Yeah.
Hey, what was that? Hey, what's that hip hop song back then? They didn't want me, but I forget how it goes.
You want me?
Yeah, back then they didn't want me. Now,
Mike Jones.
Yeah, Mike Jones. Mike Jones, right? So, you know, back then they didn't want me. Now they all on me, you know. So, but that's what we were doing, you know, back then. But I hope that, you know, was helpful for you, Coin Martian, right? Somebody else, I think that. Okay, this is a good comment from Prod SR, right? He says that I also use the paper trading function on TradingView to practice and see if I am on the right path. I completely disagree with that. Paper trading is nothing but a bunch of bullshit, okay? I'll be the first one to say this. Paper trading is nothing but bullshit. You are better off taking $50 and putting $2 or $3 in each crypto and practicing with real money than you are paper trading. You can make 1,000 paper trades and you ain't learn shit, okay? You learn a lot more how to manage risk, how to secure your cryptocurrencies, how to make sure it's safe with just $50 than you ever will making thousands of trades on whatchamacallit, okay? So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You care about more when you have something to lose.
Exactly. And the other thing too is you have to practice the right skills. If you don't practice the right skills, it doesn't matter what the hell it is. You can practice it 1,000 times. You do it wrong. Like I used to teach art for many years, right? Exactly, Will Richards. You don't deal with volume. You don't deal with emotions. There's a lot of things you don't deal with. You know, I love these paper traders who do all this technical analysis and sound like they're good and shit, and they don't put $1 on it. I'm like, what the hell, you know? But anyways, the way that you really learn the skill is to learn the correct skill and do it with real money. Okay, so I always say get mentors, get training programs, right? If you're not sure which to get, we have the release of the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. The pre-sale starts for it on May 10th. If you guys are interested in it, take a look at it. Go to www.cryptocurrency.market and you'll see it on there. And we'll go for, and then we put out that program there. We're condensing everything that we've ever done in the last 4 or 5 years into one solid training program for people that are new to cryptocurrencies that want to learn some serious shit there, So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's something that's big right now. Education is like #1 thing this year.
We got a bunch of clowns out there that have no clue what they're doing, and they're trying to educate the public. When somebody's still asking for donations on YouTube, I hesitate to learn from them. So
like, what was I gonna say? Oh.
All right, man.
There's so many people like, in ICOs right now, how Mayweather was, shilling Centra and DJ Khaled, Filecoin, even Katy Perry, Paris Hilton. So yeah, people are just leading the flock into a bunch of stuff that they shouldn't.
Yeah. So I'm going to end this broadcast, man, since we got no more questions coming in, right? And I'm out of gas right now, right? I just meant to do this as a quick test to see how I can broadcast on the Rise app, right? And so before I wrap this up, guys, I just want to show you guys what I can do here, right? So I can come over here and, I enjoy this broadcast with Milton. So he's got 3 likes or 3 hearts up there. So I can click on him and give him 1 heart, right? So now I can also click on it and give him a high five, right? And click on it, right? And for his contribution to the cryptocurrency space, I can give him the 2,500 here, right? So, bam, right there. You see that?
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, right? So that's how you do it, right? So, and then I can, the other thing that I like also is that on, hold on here. I can go to Will Richards, right? For hanging with us on this infinite broadcast where we don't know how long it's going to end, right? So, and I can give him, a heart. I can give him a thumbs up, right? I can give him a, what is this? I don't know why they got the crap here, the poop emoji. And then I feel like I'm giving him crap, right? I can give him the angry face, right? I can give him a martini there, give him a double high five, right? And or give him the ghost right here, right? Boom, right there. See? So that's those are the things, and then user name it, right? I can do the same thing with here, right? Right there. See, if I like a comment, now it's kind of hard to do this while you're talking, okay? So I haven't figured out how to talk and do it all at the same time, okay? So doing that. And so over here, if I want to, you know, I can give him a cupcake. I don't know if it's him or her, but let's give him a cupcake right there, right? There's Denny there. He does all the tutorials on our channel, right? He does a great job. Let's give him a beer right there. So there you go. You guys see that? So because of that, we have I like this because I can interact with the viewers and be able to respond back and forth to it, okay? So if you were not on this Rise broadcast, you missed out. You missed out, you know?
FOMO, go click
FOMO.
the referral link.
FOMO, okay? So, so thanks for watching this broadcast, guys, and thanks for following my channel. I'll be broadcasting more often on this. I know that some of the people here said that I should do this more often. I think it was Prod or Coin Martian or some of the other people, right? Oh, Mind Alchemist. Mind Alchemist has been here since the beginning, man. Let me give him a beer here, man, right? Give him a beer. Give that man a beer, right? He's got a black profile picture on his he's got a black profile picture on Rise, you know, and he's got a white profile picture on YouTube, so he's confusing the shit out of me, you know. So, all right, man. So thanks for coming on, guys. And so if you guys like this type of broadcast, go to www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter and subscribe to our news channel. And then if you are new to Rise, join me again in the future. And also, if you guys are like this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Okay. So, and we'll go from there. And I'll see you guys in the next broadcast. Oh, I got Cleve back. You know, got Cleve here. Give Cleve, my man Cleve, a beer down there in Macon, Georgia. Give that man a beer. Who's this? Referral Freedom. He was here earlier too. Somebody give him a beer too, man.
Give
right
that
there.
Man a beer.
Give that man a beer, guys. Right? You know, everybody's.
Thank you, guys.
You know, we're all going to end up being.
You are an inspiration. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on Rise. Thank you for bringing me up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing your story too, man.
Yeah.
And just continue with what you're doing. You changed a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Touching people and keep spreading good info.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, so this will conclude the broadcast on the YouTube live stream and on the.
Omar's here.
Omar, where's Omar?
Bring him up, Omar and Gabe.
Oh, Omar. Let me see.
Yeah, from Crypto News.
Yeah.
Omar.
We're at the Crypto Invest Summit. Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up? Damn, man. Man, hey, what's up, Omar?
Yo.
Damn, now we're going into overtime. Now
we're in overtime. We're in overtime.
Yeah, now we're in overtime. Hey, I used to know a really cool dude named Omar. Used to do all the news and shit on crypto. He went out to LA, started broadcasting, started getting them beefy arms, you know.
I am not a prostitute.
You know.
Yo, send these.
I am. I'm a prostitute.
You know. So
let's send them some beers.
Oh, you dropped off.
Yeah.
Well, you have better service. That's my little brother.
Oh, where? Let me see.
What's up? They want to see you. Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
How's it going? We just came from the investment summit just now. Crypto Invest Summit.
Okay.
I was supposed to go, man.
18 different interviews that we're gonna put out eventually.
Yeah.
We're not driving, RCC.
Could you put the phone a little bit closer so we can hear you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Much better. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got back from the Crypto Invest Summit over here at the LA Convention Center, and we recorded 15 interviews.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff that we're gonna put out on the channel.
Dude.
Isn't it so cool that I can just do like an impromptu live stream? This is pretty dope.
It is, man. It is. And
Yeah.
I also got this recorded on YouTube right now, so it'll be rebroadcasted back, man. You know. Hey,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You're like doing a screen capture?
Yeah. I'm connecting the Rise app, and you can go back and watch it later on and see it for yourself. So what I'm doing is I'm using the Windows Connect. I'm using the Windows Connect, right?
Yeah.
And I'm connecting it to my Android phone via Live View, and so it connects and it shows up on my screen. So so I can have the stock charts, the crypto charts, the trading view charts, the coin market cap on one side, and then I can have the Rise app on the right side of my screen, and it's got my video on it, your video on it, Milton's video, your brother's video on there, and I can broadcast, and so I can see everyone, and then I can drag people up and down, give them some beers.
Yo, what happened with this guy, Red Clayton, from a Bitcoin Private? Somebody gave me shit about you. They're like, yo, Kaizen was talking about Bitcoin Private, and like, what the fuck, scammer and bullshit.
Well,
what happened?
Okay, so when we first heard about the Bitcoin Private fork, the fork of Z Classic into Bitcoin Private, you know, me and Leon thought that was pretty new and pretty revolutionary. So we went down to Austin and interviewed him, and we put up the first Bitcoin Private videos. Now, if you've been following me for the last 4 or 5 years, you guys know that every time I hear something interesting that I think that's worth putting money into, we try to go have a boots on the ground type of investing approach where we go talk to the people live in person, right? So we did that with Vitalik back then. We did that with Sasha from the Waves Project. We did that with several different projects on our channel. It's all documented. So he was just another guy that he happened to be in Austin. That's where LeonFood.com lives. My business partner lives in Austin. So I'm in Dallas. So we drove down there. We interviewed him at the Factum headquarters, right? And we borrowed the Factum headquarters and we interviewed him there, and that was it. And then we did a few meetups and a few conferences with their team. Everybody was getting together. When I talked to him in person, he said he was dedicated and was hardcore focused on this project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
There was no indications that he was going to abandon ship or quit or anything like that. If I knew that, I'm not going to sit there. And I would have said something if I knew that was the case. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's hard to say, man. And you know what? He followed me. Like, I think I have him on like my Facebook group. I think he follows me even like on Twitter and stuff. So like, I felt bad. So I did a whole video calling him a scammer, and I don't want to call anybody a scammer without knowing the full story either. So I would like to see both sides and try to be objective. So I feel bad. I mean, he seems to be like a young kid who's excited about, a lot of shit at the same
he's not
time.
young. He's not young. He just looks young. He's not young. He's not young. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's when I first saw him, he looks like he's like 21, 22, but he's not. He's like in his 30s or even in his 40s. He's about my age.
There's no excuse then.
Yeah. No. So here's the thing, man. Like, people always say that, I get sick and tired in the last 4 or 5 years of people calling every cryptocurrency and every person a scammer or and things like that. And I just want to remind everyone that's listening to this, right? In the world of crypto, right, everyone gets called a scammer. Everyone. Me, you, everyone. Everybody gets called a scammer. Every coin gets called a scam, everything, okay? And what the word scam means in crypto simply means that I don't like you. Yeah. I don't like you, or I don't like your idea, or I don't like what you're doing, or I don't like your project. That's what scam means in the world of crypto. Now, outside the world of crypto, a scam means a fraudulent activity or an illegal activity. So there has to be something that is fraudulent, meaning that someone said that they were going to give you A and they gave you B instead. Or somebody said, hey, give me some money and I'll give you some A, and then you gave them some money and they didn't give you anything. So those, those are fraudulent, or it has to be fraudulent. It has to be a misrepresentation. It has to be theft. It has to be something illegal, right? So when somebody says that Rhett is a scammer, the first question I would say is that, did he take money from you? Did he tell you that? Did he take, and so like, what did he promise you?
True.
You know what I'm saying? So now, is there incompetence in crypto? Is there incompetence? Absolutely. I can point out dozens of projects that are very, very incompetent at what they do. But that doesn't.
You're right. You know what? At the end of the day, he created several communities, right? C-Classic is a big community. Bitcoin Private now, like they said, 150 developers. So sure, he's not part of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, what's next? Bitcoin Prime? Maybe we'll all get some Bitcoin Prime. But you're right. He's not doing ICOs. He's not asking for stuff.
Yeah.
If anything, the issue is that he is kind of pumping things like he's pumping Z Classic over and over and over and over again by forking it. And so people get upset about it. But at the end of the day, the price ends up going from $200 back to $5.
Yeah.
Just get it at $5 and wait for the next time he creates another one.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I say about people that accuse people of pumping stuff, you know, right? Is that I remember when you first I remember when you first started talking about Ethereum and how you were mining Ethereum back in Miami, right?
Yeah, dude, it's so expensive here in California. I'm trying to sell my mining rig. I decided today.
Electricity cost is too much out there, man.
33 cents per kilowatt hour it scales to. I was paying 11 cents in Miami.
Yeah, it's cheaper to just buy gasoline and just run a generator and produce your own electricity in California. I'm just kidding, man.
Just solar panel energy.
On our podcast, on Gabriel's podcast, we just started a new SoundCloud, already 200 followers and counting. We'd love to have you on, bro.
Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, man, you know, there was a time when I was trying to get on your channel, man, but now you got them big biceps and everything, you know, and you're all out there, man. And
bro,
you know,
make me feel better. Somebody said I had a dad body.
Yeah.
I was like, at least ties then pick up the biceps.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
it's not easy.
They said Omar had a dad body, and he went out there and turned off the video and started doing push-ups.
You have no idea. Not push-ups, because I don't want my upper body to get bigger. So Gabriel and I went to do legs at the gym, and Gabriel couldn't walk around in the conference because he has the legs for so long.
Yeah, it sucks. You gotta schedule. You gotta schedule. I've literally I've been literally dragging my legs behind me all day. You gotta schedule accordingly, man. Dragging one leg at a time, rest one leg, drag the other one.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
We would love to have you on the podcast, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Omar has my cell number, so just reach out to me offline, and we'll schedule it, man. You know, I'm surprised.
I'll give Gabriel your number.
Okay.
So we can set it up.
Yeah.
And then I'll send you a text, man. We'll have an open line of dialogue.
I'll be there too. We'll all record.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll record it over here on the Rise app, you know, and go from there. Here's the thing that's funny, man, is that I'm surprised. I did not know that you had a brother. I can't believe that you've made thousands of videos already, and now he finally shows up, man. You know,
he was the
way. Because he was in the military.
Or fake rights. In the military, he just left after 5 years of service, and now he's like fully living with me and like helping the brand and just helping me with everything, like emails and outreach and getting people all the stuff that I was ignoring. So I'm really excited. Gabriel's helping me so much. Like he was doing all the camera stuff, he was doing sound checks, and he's more social than I am. I'm like an introvert. Gabriel's pretty good.
Dude,
Gabe's awesome.
Yeah, Omar, you're acting like a real Asian brother, man. You're cracking the whip on your little brother, making him do all the work and shit, man. You know?
He's making me look bad, yo. Everybody's like, look at this taller, more handsome, more fit brother. You gotta watch out, yo. I want to point out that nobody said that. Omar said that. Okay. When we were by Elder Break, we did a lot of cool shit today.
Hey, look. The important question here, man, is this, man. The important question is, did you get you some ethers when your brother was talking about it for the last 3-4 years, man? Okay.
Actually, yes, I actually did.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's what's important, man. You know, that's.
He's been keeping up. He's been keeping up.
With one of my buddies in the Army, like we had just gotten like these $10,000 bonuses for extending for an extra year and going on this extra deployment. And I was like, dude, you need to put all that money in Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. And it was when Bitcoin was like at $1,200 like 2 years ago, right? Yeah, it was pretty good. And I told him, I was like, dude, you need to put all this money in here. And I was doing it, and he needed my my warning or my fucking advice, and now he's in a really good place.
Nice.
Boy, he had more money saved up from a previous deployment. Gabriel gave the crypto plague over to the military while he was over there. I was over there preaching the crypto gospel. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Ty is the man, because he's the one who hooked me up with Charles Hoskinson, Like, I don't know if you saw our interview and stuff. Like now, like Charles is huge in the space. You knew him since way back.
Yeah.
You guys
hey, dude,
dude,
I swear to God, man. I swear to God, Charles Hoskinson is the most underrated software engineer on the fucking planet of crypto. You know what I'm saying? You got all these guys that talk all this shit, and you know what? 10 years from now, Charles is still going to be there. His Cardano is still going to be successful, right? And he's going to be flexing his biceps, you know, at 80 years old.
He's all about it. Yeah.
You know, yeah. He's one of the few guys that's legit out there in crypto while everybody's, you know, dicking around. He's getting scientific review. He's taking the scientific process to, you know, make sure that his project succeeds. And, you know, one of these days I'm going to pull his ass up on there, you know, and talk about mission critical software. Unlike these, you know, bullshitters who keep creating blockchain software that keeps, you know, screwing around. You know, he's one of the few guys out there that understands the importance of creating blockchain software that actually works and that works reliably. You know, so how's the event out there, man?
In LA, dude, it's really nice. We just moved over to the west side. I think I told you. And now we have a studio, so it's all set up. I don't have to continually like break it up, break it down in the middle of my living room. My bird now sees sunlight. Yeah, like Gabriel's helping me, like I said. So it's beautiful, first of all, less humidity than in Miami. And then being on this side of town, it's close to the airport. I haven't traveled yet, but it's gonna be really nice to not have to worry about a car ride for an hour across town. And just to be able to hop on a plane and come back and like not have that stress. Yeah. So and the community out here is huge. I don't know if you know, like the Blockchain Beach guys host a huge meetup. You should come out here and hang out. Venice Beach is a big blossoming scene for crypto. Like it's big.
Yeah, definitely. So it's San Francisco, Ty. San Francisco is amazing. I was just talking to my friend. He's at a conference in San Fran right now, and I was out there. The community is amazing.
Yeah, I was out there last week. I was trying to hook up with you and the Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister at the same time out there, but you know, you guys are too busy.
What are you talking about? You messaged me or called me?
No, I think I texted you on Twitter. You know,
dude, you gotta like call me, bro.
Dude, we were busy out there, you know. So I mean, we were out there for a video shoot with Kevin Harrington, one of the original Shark Tanks, you know. Yeah. So he was reviewing our cryptocurrency investing blueprint that we're about to release here, you know, very shortly. So we were out there and we were busy shooting videos with them out there. You know, we didn't even have time to. You know, Denny is from our channel, and I didn't even have time to catch up with him because there was a bunch of videos that we had to shoot out there, you know.
Oh, Denny's helping you with the channel?
What's up? You know, so.
Yeah. That's cool. I feel like Denny's always on rise. What's up, Mindo, by the way? Shout out to Mindo. And Denny.
Yeah.
Denny's always on rise. Will's always
give me some likes over on this platform, so I want to give a shout out to Will for sure.
Yeah.
Hey. Dude, I figured out Rise. I'm on it.
Yeah.
You figured out Rise?
I figured out all the nuances to it, all the little details.
Yeah.
Bro, you need like a tutorial. You should do a tutorial of Rise before they gotta watch it. Explain how on the future economics of the token model.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be a popular video.
It's gonna be an incredible video.
Dude, let me tell you something. Danny's got a phenomenal book coming out, man. You guys just don't know this, man, right? He's been following me and Leon, and check this out, man.
You don't even know.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys just don't even. Yeah, you guys don't know, man. Danny's got a phenomenal book coming out, man. You know, we're in the process of getting it published, man. Once it gets out, man, he's gonna be all over, man, crypto, man. So.
Oh my God.
Just wait. Just wait.
It's all about you now.
You know, so.
You're on the rise.
Yeah. So. Hey, when you're in New York, man, you need to stop by the Rise office, by the YouNow office, and shoot some videos with them. You know,
bro, they try to offer me like I think the views can be $7,000 like a month to do like every week meets twice a week for 20 minutes. And I actually talked to them like a long time ago. I even have a video, but I was just like, I didn't really want to do it, and I didn't want to associate my brand with something, as you know, like I don't say this stuff.
Yeah,
that's part of my ethos. So I decided against it, but you know, I think they're cool guys. They already have a working product. Obviously, we're using it. So I have nothing against it. So I'm glad you got to help them out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, you know, they're solving a problem that we have in. I mean, you and I both know whenever we're broadcasting on YouTube, one of the things is, you know, we don't have the ability to pull people up on stage, you know, to chat with them like we are right now. So that kind of sucks, you know. So
yeah,
this.
Dude, I've had like big people show up in my live streams as well, and I would love to be able to drag them in.
Yeah.
Like Belina showed up at one of my recent live streams. I had Superman out there. It'll be funny just to pull him up, you know. Or you. I don't think I've had you in one of my live streams recently, unless you have like a covert name. But it would be cool to do.
Dude.
Maybe I'll do some screen share shit, and we can do it here.
Dude, look. I've been trying to get on your channel for years, man. You know, hey,
bro, it's because I don't know. Like in Miami, we should have done it, but we only saw each other at that weird like bar at the Big.
Yeah,
which I didn't have my stuff. Whatever, it's gonna happen, and I owe you like at least 3 of them. So, like, if anything, send me this clip of this video actually, and I can even upload that to my channel. Like as well,
yeah.
Like straight up, just send me it and I'll crop it and figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. It's recording right now on. It's recording right now on the Google, the YouTube, on the Google Hangout. Hey, did they ever? Did they give you the live streaming ability back? Because I know that for a while there, they had cut you off because of that bullshit.
I got it back last week.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So when you put up the video on your channel, that's where you're gonna put it. I can use a program that I use to download the video, 4K downloader.
Yeah.
I can just download it from your channel, so you don't have to worry about like Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then we can go from there. You know. But
then it sucks though, because I didn't really introduce you on my channel. Like, you need a proper introduction. You know.
All right, man.
I agree.
Hey,
Mr. Tizen.
Yeah. Hey, what we'll do is we'll come on there and do it, man. Just let me know. I mean,
Yeah. We could do like a live stream. What I can do is I'll do a regular news channel and then add like a section at the end where I'll be like, we're also gonna have a live stream with Ty Zen at the end of this. So we can do that like throughout the week. This week we're busy, but next week before we leave to New York, let's do it.
Okay. Cool deal, man.
Let's set something up.
Yeah, cool deal. Yeah. All right, man.
And you can be on our SoundCloud too, on our podcast.
Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, you know me, man. For the last 4 or 5 years, man, I've been here, you know, trying to, you know, accelerate the adoption of blockchain technologies, man, and trying to get the word out, man. You know, we were talking.
He has the biggest self-help channel in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He's got several big projects. Yeah, the first cryptocurrency investing and trading channel on YouTube. Like I used to watch his stuff. Like I remember the first video I saw of Ty Zen was him like on a plane with his buddies talking about crypto. And I got hyped.
Oh, no way.
I was like, this is so cool. This guy is balls. He can be on a plane. Like on a plane with people around him talking.
Oh,
like,
hey,
no problem.
Hey, you should have seen how pissed off. Hey, I'm glad you brought up that video because you should have seen how pissed off the motherfuckers were next door to across. You know, these guys are giving us the evil eye and shit. You know. And they were like rolling their heads, wondering when we were going to finish the broadcast, you know? And I just looked at them like, I don't give a shit. Talking about fucking Bitcoins, man. Hey, that's the first documented, recorded, you know, no, not the first one, because I actually did a Bitcoin lecture at 30,000 feet with this couple, you know, I recorded that shit too, man. Back then, I didn't give a shit, man. I was talking about Bitcoin everywhere I went, man. So.
That's right.
You were like one of the first, like, serious influencers doing that, dude. And then you did the same thing. You went to like a restaurant, did the same thing. You just used to go out in public, which I think I admired and that sort of influenced how I approach my channel. So I started doing videos like walking down the street. I think I even did one, I'm pretty sure, on a plane or something. But it was all because of you, good sir.
Thanks, man. Hey.
So, yeah, man.
Crypto facts.
I apologize for not having you on the channel. We're going to fix this next week. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's make it happen, bro.
Yeah, this is what the Rise app did. The Rise app did
I
this.
gotta meet you right now, but I'll catch you later. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Take care, Denny. Mindo, take care, Will.
Yeah.
Hey. Later.
Hey, you know, look, I know that YouTube gave you guys 100,000 subscriber plaque, you know, but I'm gonna give you something even better. Watch this.
They haven't yet.
Right, I'm gonna give you a beer on the Rise app.
Yeah.
You know what? And you know what? Hey, and you know what? And this is for you, Omar, for being so fucking sweet, man. A cupcake.
That's delicious. That is the best thing I've ever tasted. Thank you for the cupcake and beer. That sounds like a great combination. To enjoy the present.
Yeah.
Suffer for today.
Yeah.
It'll all be good, Jimmy.
Yeah, a beer for your brother's military service and a cupcake for you for being so sweet in crypto, man.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Take care, Grandmaster.
All right, man.
Talking about the conference, by the way, and Leon. I'll consider to shout your name out here.
Yeah. All right, man. All right.
Later, man.
Take care, bro.
Man. Peace.
All right, man. So this is the
Peace, Gabe.
official second conclusion of the broadcast today, man.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay.
That was awesome.
All right. All right. Take care, guys.
Peace out.
All right. Peace.